Riggs was leading Jon Rahm up to the tee box, and I looked at this.
You guys are friends now.
And I looked at Trent and I said, "Now what the is that?"
Fore play, episode of Barstool Sports, brought to you by our great, our phenomenal American close friends at Chevy. What's up, bitches? You guys ready?
Just want to give a quick heads up. We are outside. We are at the mercy of the elements. It's a little windy, so you might hear a few gusts throughout the podcast. I just want to warn people.
It's PGA Championship week. We're in Rochester. We're upstate in Rochester, New York. It's as northwest as you could possibly go in New York.
I had some asshole on Twitter yesterday. I was promoting our merchandise, which I saw a bunch at the course today. Lovely to see. I said, upstate New York, and the guy goes, "It's not upstate New York, it's western New York."
That's bullshit.
I said, "Why don't you suck my dick?"
What does Bush think?
Hooked out? Is that mic hooked up?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can go more north in New York. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
it's
but
western.
What is it? Is that the question?
Western New York.
Compared
it's
to
also
who?
upstate.
Unless you're on the border.
Once you go an hour, like in the state of New York, away from New York City, you're upstate New York, basically. In my mind,
6 hours away from Long Island, like north.
I consider everything north of the city upstate, but then I consider Rochester, Buffalo, all that area western. So you're both
right. Like, here's what I would say: if I told my friends in Arizona, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna hang out, play golf. They're gonna play." I say, "No, I'm in New York." That's misleading.
Yeah,
I'm not in New York.
You're upstate.
This is why
I'm upstate New York.
That's why no New Yorkers take their team seriously. They don't like. We don't talk when we talk about New York sports. We don't talk about the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, but the Jets and Giants are from Jersey,
which is even more disrespectful.
They're just not a New York
They even
State
count
team.
the Jersey teams.
They do.
I would count the
Jersey
If I were a
teams more
Buffalo
than-
fan, I would love being you're your own thing.
Did you know I heard? A couple interesting facts about New York sports this week?
Please.
The New York Islanders are blue and orange because of the county colors. They were supposed to be black and green because the original guys that were starting the team, that was just his favorite colors, and the politicians denied those colors because they thought that they should be the
County colors.
The county, like Nassau County, is blue and orange, and then the state colors of New York or New York City are blue and orange. Hence why the Knicks are blue and orange.
Oh,
Mets too, right?
The Mets are blue and orange because they are the combination of the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants.
Huh.
One team was orange, one team was blue. They
This guy
combined
came ready.
them, and they did that. And then the Jets are green because the original owner loved St. Patrick's Day because his birthday was on it, and he's like, "I'm going to make my team emerald green."
wow.
Do you read like a book on New York?
No,
sports team?
we were just watching sports yesterday, lots of sports, and we were just like, how come these teams are these colors? You ever think about that?
I'm thinking about it now.
There's just all these stories.
Well, I remember when the Charlotte Bobcats became an NBA team. They were the Bobcats because I think the owner's name was Bob.
Bob's Cats?
These are my cats. I'll be honest. I might have made that up, but I think it's true.
Do you know why they call it Oak Hill?
What?
Do you know why they call it Oak Hill?
No.
I don't either, but I have a guess.
Oh.
Oak trees and
Yeah,
hills.
and there's a bunch
trees on
of
hill.
hills, right?
Was it
Makes
hilly?
sense.
My calves are screaming hilly out there today.
I mean, the walk from like the first tee to the range at Oak Hill is outrageous. It's just not built for a major championship.
Yeah.
So
It's
they've
chaos.
got 20 golfers on the base of, I guess, the East Course or the West Course. Where are they playing the
West
East
championship
course.
on?
East course.
They're playing
yeah,
it
the
on the
championship
West.
course, the East course.
Okay, so on the West Course, one of the holes is just a driving range now. So at the base of one of the holes is like where they're teeing off. They're hitting out into the old fairway of the West. And then there's like a solo driving range by one, is it?
Yeah, closer to one, which we
Kevin
rolled up
Kisner
on.
was just
Kevin,
on
yeah.
a solo driving range today. It's just a box that fits one golfer. And then they have like 6 or
Said
7
he
golfers on
booked
the
it
top
in
of the
advance.
fairway.
Was he
So-
were they being facetious
I
about
think that
that?
was
he
a joke.
was joking.
Okay.
We were like, Kevin, why are you by yourself? And then Dewey's like, we booked it a week ago. We wanted to be away from the players. Dude, it's legit a private driving range. And then
Funny.
there's 9 guys on the top of the hill. So when you're looking at this driving range,
man.
you got balls coming in from all different areas. It's bizarre.
Danny Rapp, you just drove up here.
Just drove here.
How was that?
It was
Grind.
good. It was like 6 hours, but the drives always take like an hour longer with
Dude,
the,
it's
with
double,
the
that's
stops.
basically double to Boston.
Yeah,
Like
it was
Boston
long.
from New York's like 3.5.
New York
Yeah, I've
is
done
a
it in about 3:10. That was my record.
Sneaky, very, very large state. I'm here with my dog and my fiance, so that's why we kind of did like a little family
I
trip.
see.
Nice.
We're at a different hotel because I think I'm here all week. We didn't realize that until just before the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm staying at a different hotel.
Oh.
That's why it took me so long to get here because I was at the other
that's
hotel.
all right.
But we're here. We're excited. Another major week. They
It's
come
a
fast.
major week.
They come fast.
It is. We were standing behind the driving range today, and we had been here for a few hours, and Frankie just goes, I just realized it's a major.
You know what really like got it going in the brain was I saw Bryson DeChambeau, I saw Cam Smith signing autographs, I saw all these guys. We saw Abraham Answer. I'm like, I forgot these guys existed really, like at tournaments. I haven't seen their faces in a long time. And now I'm like, holy shit, it's a major.
We talked about
weren't
this
at the Masters, so we didn't see him.
We talked about this like when they decided not to ban guys. Is these weeks are going to feel like a reunion of sorts? It's
I
like
felt like that a little bit.
It's like the Champions League in soccer, where it's like all the stars are here.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's great.
For that aspect. I like that like the guys roll in and they're almost like the bad guys. You look at them and they have a different aura to them.
Yeah, they do.
All wearing the live gears, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, I think Abe Answer was wearing live
He was
gear.
wearing a bunch of his stuff, but then his shirt was the
Yeah.
live.
No, it's cool. Yeah, all these guys, everybody comes together for the majors.
We also made the comment about how probably 6 months ago, a show on the podcast, we were basically laughing at each other at the thought of the live guys wearing their team uniforms at the Masters tournament, and they all wore them, and it was just normal, and nobody really cared. They're still
like,
wearing
there's no way there's gonna be fist fights. If they
Yeah,
do
I'd be
that.
like, that'd be outrageous. Nobody would ever allow
The
that.
whole thing is kind of like that, where we were like, "What is it going to be like? What is it going to be like?" And now it's just
Just
exists.
is.
It's like,
Just
yeah,
exists.
they played somewhere else last week, and now everyone's here, and
Phil going to be here this week?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, Phil.
That's
won-
one guy I
dude,
didn't see today.
Phil
PGA
won
champion.
here less than 2 years ago.
I know.
He won this tournament.
yeah, it's insane.
That's
He
outrageous.
finished second in the last major.
Yeah, he did.
It's like the most. It gets so overshadowed by Kiowa that he finished second in the major at 52 years old last month.
Yeah, after again not going through as much public, humiliation to the point where he didn't play a couple majors when he
Yeah.
was, by all accounts, a healthy human being, and was so like disgraced or dealing with change or whatever the fuck it was that he didn't even play in 2 majors, and then finished. Was he solo second or did he tie?
I think he tied with Brooks.
T2 with Brooks. At the
Yeah.
Right,
Masters
what you're
tournament.
saying is like if he hadn't won, his T2 at the Masters would have been like the most impressive thing
Right.
the 52-year-old
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson had done. Like you'd
Yeah.
be like, holy shit, Phil did this, but you can't even say that because he just won. Like it's expected for him to finish in the top 5 now.
It's that
Yeah.
long swing, man. The long swing guys have
He's
longevity.
never injured.
He's never
injured.
hurt.
Sometimes he'll have to miss some tournaments for some other things, but he's never injured.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
we
It's
hung
also-
out with a short swing guy today for a
We
long
did.
time.
2 short swing guys, but
We had a
one
wild
main
day today.
one.
Those
We
guys
had
are boys, huh?
Yeah, they play a ton of golf together. Almost every round. I even said to Rahm today, I was like, "You play a lot of golf with this. You play a lot of golf back in Scottsdale with this guy, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, and a lot of tournaments too."
Yeah.
And then he gave me another look, almost like, "Yeah, practice rounds, but also like we're both really good, so we're together a lot."
I think
late
they played
tournaments.
all 4 rounds together in Mexico because they were the 2 stars. So
Yeah,
they put them
yeah.
together, and then they were just like leading after 2 rounds. And
We've been talking about the all-electric family. This is a big week. It's a major week. It's an electric week. And we're talking Chevy EV, the family, the Silverado. We saw this thing in person. We drove this thing through a garage in a cool commercial. I don't know if it gets any cooler than this thing.
It's a fantastic vehicle. I actually went to a Chevrolet dealership and I looked at some
I
of the
saw you
EVs.
post
I
a
looked
nice
at the
picture.
Silverados. I'm like legitimately in the market for a car, and I went and sat in Chevrolets and I had meetings and sat down with people trying to win me over and get leases.
Tell me about this one.
Yeah. We were talking about infotainment systems and we're talking about colors and trims, and I'm deep in the weeds right now when it comes to Chevrolet. They've got a great little lineup of cars, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it from the Equinox, and then they also have the Suburban is just
it's an
A
institution.
classic.
when
It
you
is
see
an
those on the
institution.
lot, you're like, I forgot about that car. That's a boat, and it's the Suburban, man.
Class.
And they have some of these blacked out ones with
Oh.
black rims and everything. It's just that's a car. And,
You got to
and
take us all around town if you're going to get
Silverados are legit, man. You turn on a Silverado and the whole screen goes from the driver's side all the way across the front. It's like Chevy gets written on it. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, the technology in those things are like spaceships.
They got a large 17-inch diagonal display screen over 10 feet of length in the bed with the multi-flex tailgate combined with the multi-flex midgate. Available 400-mile range. GM estimated on a full charge. Can tow up to 10,000 pounds of max towing. That's a lot of pounds. 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds with WOW mode. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more, just like Frankie did. Go to Chevy.com. Learn more. All-electric family at Chevy. Today was a crazy day. So we spent probably 2 hours with Jon Rahm today, or maybe an hour and a half with Jon Rahm today. Jon Rahm is the guy in golf right now. We're, again, talking amongst ourselves earlier about how outside of, because last year on Monday we had our Tiger Woods day.
Yeah.
which was an all-timer.
PGA Championship.
All-timer. You
We
can't
just
beat
deliver on Mondays.
PGA Championship.
First time we met Tiger at Pebble was on a Monday.
That's right. And then we were like, oh my God, we got this stuff with Jon Rahm. We got some funny pictures that came out. Trent asked him a dozen questions about Big Bang Theory that he ended up getting right. So we were having a lot of fun with it, whatever. But then we were talking about, like, outside of Tiger Woods, who transcends everything. Now, who is, like, the guy? And obviously we've debated that a lot on this show. Who's a bigger star? Who's got a bigger Q rating? And there's Rory. Scottie is up there as one of these guys that's been shuffled in the top 2 or 3 for the last
Justin
year.
Thomas.
Right. There's Jordan Spieth, obviously making a star. Jon Rahm right now, I think, is clearly
He's got crazy juice.
the guy. He's number 1 in the world. He won the Masters. He's got 2 majors now. And in the last couple months, he has earned the favor of American golf fans dramatically differently than he had previously. And he's just the guy. I think the way he carries himself, he's kind of the guy. The way people look at him, the way people say his name, like Jon Rahm is the guy in golf right now.
There's just no negative. With Scottie, people will say, "Oh, he's kind of boring." You can't say that Jon Rahm is boring. With
Right.
Rory, you got all these live trolls online who are tired of hearing from him, and they say he's a hypocrite, all this stuff. Everyone on both sides of the aisle likes Jon Rahm. There's like no negative aspect. So I would say, yeah, this side of Tiger, he's probably the most popular, like universally liked guy out there, and then being number 1 in the world and winning winning the Masters is winning the Masters. That's a tournament that everybody watches.
Yeah.
If you're going to win one, you win the Masters. So he is the guy, and he loves you guys.
The galleries were insane today for him. I mean, just everyone watching him. When Trent and I were kind of late getting to him because we were stuck kind of by the driving range. We were talking to some guys. We didn't know what their setup was with John, so we're like finding them on the 3rd hole. And we see this fucking massive crowd, like a Sunday type crowd around a guy. I'm like, that has to be Jon Rahm. I feel like that wasn't always the case. It wasn't even close to being the case. Maybe 12 months ago. That's crazy to think that like Jon Rahm brings that type of juice now. And when you win multiple majors, you win the Masters, you're the number 1 in the world. That's what's going to come with it. And he thrives off that stuff. You can just tell he loves it. He's like mucking it up when he hits a bad shot. He's laughing. Like it's not like he's getting nervous. He's thriving in it.
I also remember watching it happen with Brooks a couple years ago after he won a couple of majors. He got much more comfortable speaking his mind and having an opinion and being outward and talking about those things. And I mean, we did an hour interview with him. His comments after winning the U.S. Open were great. His comments after the COVID thing at Memorial, like he's just become more forward facing. And before it was all about like, oh, he's the guy who gets mad and has temper tantrums, and that's all we see. Now he has completely flipped it, and I do think there's a comfort level that he has with so much success that he's had recently. He feels more comfortable saying things.
Does remind me of the Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
When Brooks went from pretty much dead silent after he won his first U.S. Open. I remember he declined to do the media tour.
He went to Vegas, I think.
Yeah, which is very different.
Yeah.
And just stuck to himself and stayed quiet for a year or so. And then there was that moment when he started doing interviews. He started making pretty aggressive comments. He started chirping guys for slow play. And he became kind of the Brooks Koepka that we know now. And Jon Rahm is going through, I think, at the beginning of this year especially. What's he won? 4 times this year already?
4 times, 3 designated, or 2 designated and a Masters.
So he's got that already. We haven't even kicked off our second major of 4 yet. And he's number 1 in the world, I would say kind of convincingly right now. He's got 2 major championships. He's the first European player in history to win a U.S. Open and a Masters tournament. He's got a couple young kids. He's got a wife that's been like his college sweetheart, basically, that he's been with for a while. He's got his crew in Arizona, and he just seems comfortable, likable, a family guy. And what we love on this show about him is that opposite of Brooks Koepka, which would have been one of our big complaints about Brooks, is that Rahm leans into that he is obsessed with golf.
Yeah.
He talks about the history, makes comments all the time about he on YouTube for hours and hours when he's tending to the kids or when he's killing time or when he's whatever he's doing around the house. He will put on old, he loves the old highlight tapes of historic rounds of golf.
He loves Seve.
He loves Seve, obviously. He loves the Spanish floor. He loves the fact that, the Spanish guys have won at Augusta National and he got to become one and be the next guy, and that it was on Seve's, the 40th It was like
anniversary, or was it his
I
birthday?
think it was his
I
birthday.
thought it was
like
his
his
birthday.
and then there was another that was like on the anniversary of like his second win at the Masters. So all kinds of stuff that he's aware of. He's not out there like, well, I wish I was at a football game. Like, no, he's like, I'm a fucking golf guy, and this is great. And I love carrying the torch for Spanish golf and the European golf team and doing it in America where I went to college, and it's great. And so the fact that he leans into that yet is as opinionated as he is, he's just the guy right now. I fucking love that guy. I ran into him in Scottsdale on Friday evening, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing Mother's Day tomorrow because Sunday I'm going to travel up to Rochester for the PGA." I was like, "Oh, I'm traveling Sunday too. We'll be out there Monday." And he was like, "Oh, this is what time I'm teeing off. Me and Adam come hang if you want." I was like, "Great." So I did that. Me and Bush walked up, and right away he dapped us up. He chirped Alex Bush for not having sunscreen on. Said, "You better put some sunscreen on." And then we hung out with
them
him
on the third hole, and Riggs was leading Jon Rahm up to the tee box. And I looked at,
you guys are friends now. I think
and I
that's
looked
what
at
it
Trent and I
is.
said, "Now what the fuck is that?" Like when we did Tiger Woods, when we walked to Tiger Woods,
Yeah,
that
you're
was
like walking on eggshells.
It was the craziest moment of all time. Like
Yeah.
Tiger, Joey LaCava brought us out there. Tiger said, "What's up, my brother?" to Riggs, dapped us all up. We were all fucking nervous. We're walking with him for basically an hour. That was like once in a lifetime. Now all of a sudden, the next PGA comes around. It's major week. It's a Monday. We had just done this with Tiger Woods last time, and now I'm looking at Riggs and I'm trying to find them. I'm like, oh, they must be like no. He's just walking with him up to the tee box, and like it was like they were two old friends. Like, this is a major that we're talking about, and the number one player in the world.
It helps too. His caddy,
Adam's
Adam
a
Hayes,
beauty.
who we had on the
really
show,
is.
is a legend.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's so personable. He likes us, so he
Yeah.
welcomes us in. John welcomes us in equally, and so you're kind of riffing with the three of them. They've got their own inside jokes. They actually, like anybody does, like they like when you're in now on it, and they hear you
Yeah.
guys busting each other's balls. And then they're, the first thing when me and Bush stand in the fairway with him on the second hole, and he's like, "All right, it's 131, it's adjusted here." And then Rahm looks at me and goes, "Meters, remember it's meters." And so I'm
Yeah.
sitting there standing, and he goes, "Come on, Harvard, it's like 150." And I like, so he's
Dude, he
chirping.
knows,
So
man.
He
Yeah.
loves that stuff. Like he likes being in on that. And then as we're up on the green, you're tiptoeing at that point. You're like, "Am I in the way? Am I in the way?" And Adam's throwing the different pin locations down. And he's like, "All right, now look at this back left one. Like this one with the redo. This wasn't even close." And then Rahm comes over and is like, "Well, give this a few more years, then we'll be able to use this pin location
Yeah.
because the green's going to change because people will be hitting bunker shots." And like, they're just love talking about
Yeah,
it.
he's a
going
golf
through it.
genius, and you're right there.
They're
Yeah.
obsessed with it. And like, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
And then there's like a back swale chipping area. And I'm like, "Are you going to putt from down there? Or what are we going to do from down there?" And Rahm throws a couple of balls down there. It goes down and putts them up. And they're pretty tight. And he's like, "Looks like we're putting them." And like, they were just in it. They were enjoying it. I think he very much enjoys that people are getting to know the real Rahm. I'm sure that's fun for him. Like, I can tell it's fun for him. He's leaning into us, obviously, but other media too. He's just doing a little bit more stuff, and he's really good at it. Like, he's genuinely really good at it. He's incredibly likable. It must be a little bit nerve-wracking that, like, he's not even doing this in his first language. He's, like, over here speaking English, doing it in America. He's a Spanish guy, like, and yet he's phenomenal at it. So he's just kind of blowing us away. I thought, too, today I noticed he had a very, almost a carefree confidence about him. Like, today's day, I think he called it like a touch 'em all day. Like, they played 18 holes, and he was just out there to see the holes. And he was hitting shots.
Dude, he
for
hit
sure.
like a 265.
Probably had never been here before, right?
He
He's
hit like
never
a
been here
265 3-wood like cut into the green off the deck, and he just like looked at us. I was like, "That's so sick."
He is the best golfer in the world.
Yeah, right.
Fucking crazy. Him and Tony Finau played with him.
Yeah.
Just two short swing guys that are absolutely launching golf balls.
Yeah.
There are some guys that you play with, and you're like, "Oh, this doesn't look all that different. I can maybe
That's what
do
I
this."
said to
Those
him.
two, it's like,
So we found the two guys where you're like, how are these two guys even like?
how do they
real?
Yeah, totally. All I can think about now is, imagine if he wins this week. He'll have
Oh my
won the
God.
first two majors of the year.
Oh.
He'll be 3/4 of the way to the career Grand Slam. He'll have 5 wins already this year.
He's a betting favorite.
I think it's him and Scottie are
It
like
is.
1-2.
Yep.
And
Bro.
he's number 1 in the world. His last start, I think he finished solo second in Mexico. He comes in off 3 weeks of rest. Like, he's got a very, very good shot to take even another step this week. Another win this week would be, yeah.
Can we
hard
talk
to wrap
about
your
how
head
low
around.
Tony Finau tees up the golf ball? I know it's been like a topic of discussion throughout his whole career, but seeing it up close like that was actually like alarming.
It's low.
I brought it up to Jon Rahm. I'm like, can you believe this guy? He's like, it's just his swing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what that means. Bro, the ball is when I was looking at the ball teed up, I was trying to think of how I tee up like a 4-iron on like a 210 par
Similar.
3. It's like right there.
Yeah.
Like it's just above the grass.
He's
You're
got
seeing
so much
a
more in the
millimeter of white. And he just comes around that thing. Bro, you can't even see the
ball at all.
ball.
That's
Yeah.
literally all.
Look at that.
That's
We're-
crazy.
Riggs had the picture
That's
of it.
his driver.
That would be so spinny if we tried to hit it.
Oh,
it
so
would
we-
be
yeah.
yeah.
So we talked to Rahm
That's
about it, and
incredible.
Rahm said like when he wants to like let it go. I guess they were in Mexico and they were hitting off, or maybe they were in Arizona, but they were hitting at a range. And Rahm and Adam were like, just let it go a little bit. Let's see that, because I guess this guy's like swing speed could get up to like
He is
210,
way more in the
like,
tank.
for ball speed.
He can
get
like
up to-
take it up
I
behind
remember
his
during
back.
the Bryson phase, he posted a video
Yeah.
doing that
Oh,
where
I
he
do
went,
remember
remember that?
that.
He went full length.
So Rahm goes, when people ask me who the longest hitter is out here, I always say it's Tony Finau if he wants it.
Yeah.
He
That
said
he's
could
got like
compete in long drive
210.
I believe
contests.
it.
He's got 210 ball speed just in his back pocket if he wants it.
He said if
he like
you
flicks it out there. It's like a half.
And he says it
swing.
Yep.
means nothing to him. He doesn't even look like he cracks a sweat.
Rahm was like, give him 4 more inches on his driver and he could compete in long drive.
And that's Jon Rahm saying that, who pounds the golf ball.
So those guys are best buddies, you know.
He
out
got in his
there
way
on
a little
tour.
bit today, Tony Finau.
I know,
We were
I
like
felt
taking
bad.
videos
Well-
of us and Rahm, and Tony's like, and
Yeah.
at one point we all just were walking down the fairway, and Tony was hitting behind us. He had to actually tell us. He was like, like heads up. And like I did a little shimmy where I went to go right, and then I went left, and I'm staring at him.
Hey, you scrambled.
I scrambled. I was scrambled eggs. My titties were bouncing all over the place. I literally tried to go right, and then I'm like, wait, that's the whole other side of the fairway. And then I went left, and he's like, who is this clown?
We're not great at those
No.
things. Sometimes we're not
Those
great.
are
at
hard
them.
interactions.
Yeah.
But on practice days, these guys don't care. Like they're so dialed in with their shots that they're not gonna like kill anybody out there. Rahm was on the green,
Yeah.
and Tony Finau was 120 out,
He hit a full wedge.
and he
at
hit a
him.
full wedge right over Rahm's head and just dropped right next to the hole. And Rahm never even flinched. He just kept like walking around, dropping balls. They're so good at golf.
It's funny because there's certain shots like Justin Thomas was hitting one in front of us before we saw Rob today. He was hitting a pitch shot, and we were like 5 feet in front of him and a couple feet to the right, and I'm like, that's a miss spot for
Yeah.
all of our friends.
Yeah.
A miss spot that would harm you dramatically. Like,
Yes.
I couldn't stand there, and I actually at a second like I took a little bit of a step back, and he kind of laughed. I'm like,
It's like I got this.
I mean,
The
you're not
the
even
windows are
close.
so much smaller. The
Yeah.
windows are so much smaller.
It's
for
not
where that ball's
breaking
gonna
news
go.
to say that these guys are really good. They're obviously the best in the world. But if you've ever been on the fence about going to a golf tournament or a championship or a major, just go for the sheer fact that you're not going to believe what these guys do in the sport that you play all the time. When you go out with your buddies and you're just playing golf and you're watching good shots and you're hitting balls onto the green, you're not going to believe how different it is. You would think that it's like similar. Like, oh, people are like, I love golf because I get to do what the pros do once in a while. My dad always has that line. I can hit a drive. I can make a putt. You're not doing
You're not
what
hitting
they're
a drive
doing.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mr. Borelli,
Yeah.
we love you. You're not doing it the
But
same
like
way.
you can make a par, yes. You can make a 4. You can make a 3. The way these guys hit the golf ball is like it's a different
The way I
sport.
describe it is like when people are saying, "Oh, I don't understand how they'll go play a course that's rated 75 and it's 150 slope and the winning score is like 25 under par," and they're like, "How's this possible?" I'm like, imagine someone hitting a perfect shot 60 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
Perfect.
Like a perfectly flush shot, and they do it every single time.
Well, dude, think about how excited you get as a golfer. If you hit a really good drive on a pretty tough par 4 or something, it's way out there. You've got like 105 to the flag, and you're like, oh, I get to hit a pretty good attack, like attacking wedge shot here. And I should have a pretty good look for birdie. Now imagine they just do that for 72 holes. And you mix in the par 5s. Of course they're 20 under par.
And
Like,
the
how
way
would they not
roll
be?
the ball on the green is just
Right.
everything's
And like
scary.
And then I think like, okay, so now they've done it. They've hit the ball 330 yards down the middle. Now he's got 105. Let's say it's a little uphill adjusted, 107 shot. Well, he's hit that 107 wedge, I don't know, 25,000 times. So
Yeah.
he's going to hit it pretty close. And then once you get up there, he knows the greens perfectly. He's done
got-
practice
yeah.
rounds, and he's got a perfect putting stroke.
Yeah.
So like if it misses, that would be shocking.
Totally.
So of course they're going to make birdie.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's
it's like
just-
they also have been spending the whole week calibrating exactly how far the wedges go at this golf course in these conditions, in this wind.
And now imagine being that good and not even making the cut because the competition's so much better.
true.
Think about like everything you just said was like a guy that can finish like 82nd in this thing.
Someone's gonna, some
Fucking-
like top 20 player, top 15 players that miss the cut.
So Rahm,
Right.
Rahm actually said that today because I asked him on the second shot on number 2 we were talking, and he was doing all the different adjusting of the meters, and I said, "Do you have to adjust pretty dramatically from Scottsdale to here. And he said, yeah, but what I like about this place that we realized early on is that this place is pretty similar to Torrey and the West Coast swings that we play in terms of elevation and how the ball is going to be affected in terms of conditions.
Yeah.
He was like, the weather, the temperature, what we're going to experience this week, it's pretty similar percentage-wise to what we deal with in Torrey and all that, which is very similar to where I grew up in Spain. And he's like, so I feel very comfortable in this. We don't have to make a ton of adjustments. This is sort of like childhood growing up yardages is kind of how it feels like out here.
All right, I'm going to bet on Jon Rahm.
Okie
dokie. That was like you just gave. You're like basically it's like his home and Torrey. That seems pretty good for Jon
Barstool
Rahm.
Sportsbook.
That seems pretty good.
But yeah, that guy, he is, I'll say around town in Scottsdale, he's a beloved guy. People love him. They have say nothing but good things about him. And now that we're getting to know him a little better, I totally see why. And I love that guy. I fucking love Jon Rahm.
Yeah, it was
He's
a great
just the man.
day.
He's the man. Spring is full bloom, as they say, and so is flavor at HelloFresh. Enjoy the taste of spring with chef-crafted. Ooh. It's kind of a hard thing to say.
Chef crafted.
Chef-crafted recipes featuring ripe seasonal ingredients delivered right to your door. I love HelloFresh.
Yeah.
We have spoken for over half a decade now about trying to eat better, how we don't really know how to cook, how we're not great at that. HelloFresh just makes things, and they make them pure, clean, good for you, easy. It's HelloFresh.
It's an efficient and healthy way to just have really good meals.
I'm in and out. Yeah, I'm in and out of eating healthy. I mean, I talk about it a lot on the show. But when I am eating healthy, I eat HelloFresh because the ingredients are great, the food is great, the meals are great. I just need to be more consistent with it, and I just need to eat HelloFresh all the time.
You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/416 and use code 416 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
That's a lot of free meals. That's 16
bunch.
meals?
It's a whole bunch.
The hell are they doing over there at HelloFresh? That's HelloFresh.com/FORE16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping with code 416. Sign up today for America's #1 meal kit. That's HelloFresh.com/416. All right. Dan, I saw you got into it a little bit with the Superintendent Turf Crew Twitter.
Oh, that guy is not the superintendent. That guy works for Live Golf. I mean, I didn't see if there were more responses. I've been doing pretty good not reading them.
Smart.
But
I just saw one retweet.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing that thing. The whole internet was against you. I saw one person retweet.
The Cedar.
It was my friend, I think it's Sean Rayburn, who I think might be, he's a superintendent.
Sean Rehorn. I know that guy from Aldera. From
Aldera.
Washington.
Me and Frankie were up there.
Yeah, he's friends with Joel. All I said was that the course looked like it was in bad shape. I didn't say that it was like the superintendent suck. All I said was I watched a lot of Live this weekend.
Yeah?
Not really on purpose, but I kind of watched a lot of it.
I love Sean. He's a good dude. He's a good follow.
I like Sean.
But you got into it with him, and you weren't wrong. The course looked like shit.
The course looked horrendous.
No doubt about it.
Regardless of how like heroic it was,
or
to
uncontrollable, it doesn't matter.
But
The
like
course
they're
looked
saying,
shit.
like
The
you
course
should have
looked
seen
bad.
what it would have been if these guys weren't so good. It's like sure, but like you just got dealt a bad hand. Like the course you lost the course. The course was lost.
I saw a guy like,
looked horrific.
Bunky Perkins or
It did.
something. Some Tulsa guy on Twitter said that it's the 8th best golf course in Tulsa. So he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what."
And that's not a shot at just the course.
Yeah.
Visually was insane. If you go on Twitter right now and you type in Tulsa Live Golf Course, you're going to see pictures.
That one screenshot that you put up, Dan, if they had just moved the camera up like 3 feet,
Yeah.
it would have been totally fine.
It was really bad framing on that guy's part.
Really bad.
Yeah, Mike McAllister. I watched a lot of Live this weekend.
What'd you think?
So I actually just made a video about this that just went up. Like they have really good golfers, that's for sure.
For sure.
Like for sure they have great golfers. But the broadcast is just tough to get through for me because they try so hard to push this team thing because they need the team thing to succeed. And
You are very out on the team thing, I noticed.
I think no one cares. Look,
It's hard to try to get people to care about the thing at all. Now it's hard to get them to care about one aspect of it. Now you're trying to get them to care about two aspects.
Do you think that there is a way that they could do the team thing that would make it more
Yes.
appealing, or
Yes.
they're just doing it wrong?
They're doing it way wrong. It's like going on at the same time. If you're going to do team golf, do team golf. Do 2 guys on one team against 2 guys on another team, have them play alternate shot or best ball. The guys are high-fiving. One team is in white, one team is in black. It's very easy to watch. Now it's like the leaderboard never stops moving. Some guy on 13 might make a bogey, and then it goes down, and you don't know what holes they're on. It's a bit of a mess. And I think the way they did the team competition last year, the like season finale, when it was like singles matches and you had like Cam, that was like kind of cool.
That was good. That was the Miami one?
That was the Miami one. If they want the
Doral?
team thing to work, they've got to figure out the team thing, because right now it's messy and it's a distraction.
Fun fact, the bar at Doral is where I was when I found out Kobe Bryant died.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It was the Monday of Super Bowl week, like before Super Bowl week started. I'm sorry, the Sunday before Super Bowl.
It was Torrey Pines, I remember.
And Tiger was out there playing, so I went in. I got in a day early because we were there for Super Bowl week. I went and hit balls at Doral, and then went in to have a beer and watch Tiger finish his round. And that's when the news broke. So I sat at that bar. I was doing that.
I was living with Robbie Fox at the time, and we would just sit on the couch and watch TV all day. And he told me, and I didn't believe him for 45 minutes.
That was a no. That's a TMZ thing. Like that was a one you reacted to. Like no.
Has tried to kill Lil Wayne like 15 times.
Yeah, Eminem, I think too. Also,
they get a couple ones just really wrong, and you're like, no way.
Yeah,
no way.
I was in my New York City apartment still with my buddies, and I walked out, and they were sitting in the living room, and I said, Kobe Bryant just died. And they all just stared at me. And it was a very weird feeling for me breaking that news. They're like, what?
Yeah, because people like to be the news guy, but not that one.
No. Like, I remember it clearly. Like, Big Rob was laying down, just watching whatever. I'm like, Kobe Bryant just died. And he sat up, and he was like, what? It's just like, what?
I don't think
possible that name that you just said is impossible.
There won't be a more stunning celebrity death in our lifetime, I would imagine.
I don't know that there will be either. That was stunning.
Yeah.
He hadn't retired that long ago.
He was so beloved too. He was starting to do really cool shit. Remember, he made that like Academy Award-winning short film, Dear Basketball.
Yeah,
and he had softened a lot because he was also kind of guy that was a bit of a dick when he was, he had some problems.
Oh
but people had really come around on him.
He had some problems. For sure.
Yeah, no, he was a dictator for sure on some of those Laker teams.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got on this, but yeah. Oh, Doral.
Doral. But yeah. Anyways, that's what I think.
And
of
then
Doral. That event was great. You're right. Watching the Live one last year. That day, there was like one Saturday or something where I watched a lot of that, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
And like when you watch the tournament, they had DJ and Cam Smith, and they're watching the broadcast, and I'm like, I just want to watch DJ and Cam Smith play a golf tournament. I don't need to know about the stingers or the four aces making a birdie or a bogey. And then the announcers are like, the drama about the team competition. It's like, no, your asset is these golfers. Let them play golf. I just think trying to make golf into a team sport, tennis has tried to do it a lot with like World Team Tennis, and it just doesn't work.
And they fumbled the end of the broadcast or something?
Yeah, well, they had a rain delay. But it was a little bit jarring. I was watching on my TV. And
so what happened? Because I saw all kinds of people tweeting that like they just ended it, but it was a rain delay.
Or something.
Yeah, it was. So they were delayed for like 2 hours.
Kind of a banger show, by the way.
They were delayed for 2 hours in the 2 hours in the final round. So when I went to the end of the broadcast window, some rerun of like a Penn and Teller show came on my TV. It was just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you can't do that.
I mean, it happens, right? Like it happens in tour events. Sometimes you got to go online and finish on CBS.com, or it's not unique to Live, but it was definitely didn't do great things for the credibility.
I was with you on the course conditions thing, and this is one of the more pro course condition superintendent turf crew.
I mean, Frankie's done videos with these crews.
I love superintendents
in the world.
I got one of the superintendents. Actually, you got to give him a shout. I got my guy Luke from Rockville. He's dialing in my grass in my backyard. That's how fucking nice these guys are.
So they're the best.
He's been hitting me with like pre-emergence, and he's like, we're gonna juice
what
the
kind of
fuck
grass
out of
you
these.
got?
I don't even know anymore. It's just he goes when the guys come to do your backyard and mow it, they're not going to believe how many bags they need because of how high this grass is going to be growing.
It's going to break their blades.
It's like he said it's going to look like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus. Every time he shaves, it just pops right back up.
If you need a grass guy, a superintendent's a good one to get.
He's the best.
Yes.
He's
They're
the
great.
best.
Having said all that, the course looked like shit on TV throughout the weekend. So, I'm sure that superintendent might have, like you said, been dealt the hand he was dealt. There's nothing he could have done about it.
A ton of rain is what they were saying.
That's not up to us. We see screenshot. We comment on screenshot. Course looked like shit.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's the number 10 golf course in Tulsa.
If you don't say it looks like shit, you're just like being nice and you're lying. Like you can't look at that and be like, that looks awesome.
It's right. It's everything that all of the arguments are ever about. It's not about the thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
With that, where you're like, if you critique Live in a way that's obvious,
100%.
When it's like, look, that golf course. I'm yelling. Sorry, Alex Bush. That golf course looks like shit, and it objectively looks like shit.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Yeah, it's like if Oak
you're
Hill,
a PGA Tour shill, and that's why you're saying this.
If Oak Hill looks like that this weekend, I will take to Twitter and I will say this golf course looks like shit. It's not a live specific thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Phil Mickelson deleted tweet from last week. I think this was.
Yeah, he's been on it.
I missed this.
So he tweeted out. I believe this was.
Was it an Eamon?
It was. It was a general tweet.
Just
Okay.
about the
I saw him and
PGA,
Eamon
which
going
did some
at it,
funny
though.
stuff. To be fair,
All right, let's hear it.
PGA uses OWGR official world golf rankings to get in. Number 103, Tringali. Number 111, Munoz.
Munoz.
Munoz. There's like a little.
Munoz.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Number 110, Kokrak out. Number 128, Hostler in, colluding with Tour and against Liv. So he was going on about Taylor Gooch. And his thing with Taylor Gooch was he said, he finished up with that where he said, 3 years from now, who is most likely to still be here, Monahan or Liv? We won't forget. You too, Juan, who's Mike Juan.
He tweeted that?
Oh, yeah, and then deleted it. And
I
then
didn't see.
he followed this up in another tweet.
It's very aggressive.
He said, hey, Mike, which is at Mike Juan, what about changing a rule? This was in response relatively recently. I think it was like May 5th to a tweet about the USGA being like, when we make changes to our criteria, if it affects, any individuals, we're like, devastated. We're trying not to let that happen, but sometimes it happens. And Phil responded to that, hey, Mike, what about changing a rule and making it retroactive to exclude someone who has already qualified? How could Taylor Gooch not take that personal? It's a direct attack on him and his career. How does it benefit the USGA or US Open? It doesn't. Just a dick move.
I don't think he's wrong with the Taylor Gooch one. The Taylor Gooch thing, because also what Mike Juan said was, because I think Golf Channel or something asked him about it, he's like, we're not going to change our criteria for one person. It's like, well, that's quite literally what you did.
Yeah.
So, and also, I think he deleted that tweet because Paul Casey got into the field this week. He was like number 153, and he's a live guy. The PGA of America got up to some funny stuff this week for sure with the field. They like just invited some people. I asked Joel Damon, I was like, how'd you get in? He's like, I have no idea. So I think there might be like a Netflix exemption.
Dude, because Joel's one of those guys, I feel like every tournament, every major that we go to, feels like he's potentially the first or second alternate or something. So when I see him, and today we saw him, and he showed up at like 4 o'clock or something and wasn't dressed and hadn't seen the course and didn't know where he's going. He didn't know how to register. He's like asking drunk people how to register. And part of me wanted to be like, are you in the tournament?
Yeah.
It doesn't appear that you're in the tournament. Are you like, did you show up for a practice round and you're like the 7th alternate? I wasn't sure if he was in, but he's in.
He's in. It might be a Netflix exemption. It's not quite clear what happened. There were some guys who were ahead of him who ended up getting in, but didn't get in the first wave. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess like these tournaments, they put up the purse. They can sort of invite who they want. But there's been a lot of talk about meritocracy recently, and like Webb Simpson's in the field. It's not really clear how. Some of the the Ryder Cup captains got in. Paul
Has
Casey's
it always
in.
been like
Dude,
this? And there's just a way more.
I saw Luke Donald and me and Frankie.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, Luke
Does he
Donald.
play on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, not in like the big events, but
How did Luke Donald get in?
they gave the Ryder Cup captains invites.
So, yeah.
Has it always been like this, or is there just a microscope on this because of the whole live versus PGA?
I think-
has there always been just like weird exemptions?
Not-
that no one
there's
understood?
been like maybe one or two, but I think the OWGR is like fast losing credibility, and that's not a comment on whether they should whatever, but it's like the OWGR is just not what it used to be. It's not like this fail safe option, because you've got guys who are like Charles Howell, who's like 400 in OWGR, who's like been playing pretty good on live. So I think they're starting to deviate a little bit from it. Not so much in the like 1 to 50 range, but when they get to like the 70s and the 80s, they're like, okay, this guy is better than this guy. We want him in. That seems to be what's happening.
Which would make sense, honestly, for
Yeah.
the events, for the U.S. Open and for the PGA and for the British Open. Like, just let in who you think should be there, really. It's an eye test.
Did
Yeah.
And
Max
once you
Homa
get
say
to
he wanted
one-
to go to that, just the eye test, like who's just
Yeah.
better than the other guys?
Do like
Yeah.
an AP poll. Of,
Yeah.
like,
And guess what? Where it might start to get gray at 130th, who cares?
Right.
Nobody cares. Like, fine. Let in these 20 guys over these 20. Nobody gets
Well, that's what
fucked.
it was with Joel. It's like we could let in Joel Damon, or we could let in a guy who's a couple of spots ahead of him who isn't hugely popular and a Netflix star. And so,
Joel Damon. That's a no-brainer.
yeah. The problem is then, they talk all about meritocracy and this
That's
and
a
that.
bit of a meritocracy in and of itself.
It's like capitalism.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in like general, appeal to the event, right?
Yeah.
Like gravitas of the event, like names there. Joel Damon's a name. If you let in whoever's like maybe one spot ahead, if you went by pure meritocracy of like golf, then that person is not actually going to drive more value to the actual event and they're so close anyways that wipe that part out, and obviously Joel should be here. So I think that if that's what they're doing, that's great.
Yeah. The devil's advocate is like, the majors should exist as this beacon of meritocracy, and it should be, agnostic to your public profile, and we want these 4 events. Yes, there's tournaments that have sponsor exemptions, and they can invite big names if they want to, but the majors should be different. Where do you stand on that one, T?
I'm a headline guy.
Yeah.
So I really am. So I'll take Joel Damon over whoever.
Yeah.
I think that is a meritocracy of its own.
I'm a headline guy too, but I'm thinking about the guy that's like 121 that or whatever, the guy who may have been just a little bit ahead of Joel Damon that like doesn't get the opportunity to become Joel Damon just by like having the week of his life.
So I'll tell you who it was. It was this guy Alex Smalley. Alex
Smalley could have been the next guy.
He ended up getting in because Davis Love pulled out, but Alex Smalley was ahead of Joel Damon on like basically both lists.
I want to be clear that I have nothing against Alex Smalley, and you are right. Somebody gets fucked in the process. And if it's a guy like Alex Smalley, I feel bad for that, for that person. But it's an entertainment product. You're trying to move revenue.
It only feels weird when it's at the bottom, but like the big names, like at the top, regardless of how they're playing, like Luke Donald, however the hell that guy got in. It's weird, but he's such a big name that I just think about. But when you tell me like this guy's like one step ahead of the other guy in the rankings, I just feel weird about like how the guy behind him got in. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like something about that like final guy in.
Just a weird judgment call, and then it's like if you go by the numbers, at least there's like a cut and dry answer.
Yeah.
Whereas this way, it leaves a lot more up to interpretation. But I mean, I understand why
if
they're
you're running
doing
a business, you gotta just have the big names in.
Yeah,
which they are.
Yeah,
and one thing that we've learned, right, is that the U.S. Open, for example, the USGA does over 90% of their annual revenue that week.
Right.
So they need that week to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
All this other stuff, all of the clinics, all the grow the game stuff, all the rule books, all of the whatever, even the women's open, all the other events that they do, the 4-ball, shout out to Ryan Whitney, the 4-ball, like all the stuff that they do, they make over 90% of their revenue as an entire organization in 1 week. So they need that U.S. Open to be fucking huge. They need every name there. They need the biggest ratings they can get. They need crowds. They need to sell tickets. They need that week to be massive. And PGA of America, I believe, is very similar in that. Where it's like, yeah, on a year when they're Ryder Cups in the USA, obviously that helps. But otherwise, it's like the PGA Championship is their thing. And that is an operation. It's an organization that they need to drive as much revenue as possible. And so if you get to this point where I'm sure they still do top 50, right? Top 50 in the world rankings get in.
They went pretty far down.
But if you start getting down there and it starts to become, well, I think you could argue this guy is more, deserving based on meritocracy in golf than this guy, then like pick the fucking guy with a bigger profile. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The Masters tournament has like 90 people total and half of them are 90.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, nobody bitches about that event. If you suffer from the symptoms of ADHD, lack of focus, no productivity, your brain is constantly wandering, that couldn't be anybody on this show, you need to check out Proper Wild's Clean All Day Energy Shots. Proper Wild uses organic. Look at that. Look at that.
Frankie and I, we got up early today. We took an early flight out of New York to come to Rochester.
How did you guys awaken?
4:30.
Yeah,
Ooh.
4:45.
That is, if we said this, that's a good 4 hours before things would be considered early.
4:30 is an unfortunate time.
Pitch black.
It's actually still late.
Someone had an
From the
8:30
night
a.m.
before.
meeting. That would be an early meeting.
Yeah.
You guys woke up 4 hours before that.
Yeah, no, it was an early wake up. But honestly, Proper Wild has been an amazing partner with us. I've used them a lot. We obviously are on the dozen. We had a huge win, and I took Proper Wild right before because I just needed that clean all day energy, and it does not give you the jitters. I know it says it in the ad read. I know this sounds like we're trying to sell you on this stuff. We're just trying to let you know that we take this and we legitimately feel better throughout the entire day while drinking this, and you don't get that heart racing feeling.
Proper Wild uses organic caffeine stacked with L-theanine?
I believe it's theanine.
Theanine, which has clinically been shown to boost your energy, focus, and productivity with the without the jitters or the crash. No preservatives, no artificial sweeteners, no horrible chemicals, just a natural-tasting energy shot with clean ingredients that actually work. Go to properwild.com/barstool to try Proper Wild at 30% off. That's properwild.com/barstool for 30% off.
You guys see a bunch of club pros out there today? Those guys are always like really trying to stay out of the way.
No, we didn't see many because we were with like Jon Rahm. None of them were.
Yeah,
with
they were
Jon
not
Rahm.
playing with Jon Rahm.
No,
There's 20 of them in the field. It's crazy.
Is that right?
What's the
20?
best
20.
PGA a pro has ever done?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure like way back in the day before there was like touring professionals, like, Harmon, I think it's the original Claude Harmon, or maybe it was one of the guys was the head pro at Wingfoot and he won the US Open and the Masters, but that was like before there were touring professionals.
Right.
I don't think any of them made the cut last year. There's like usually one or two that makes the cut.
Yeah.
There used to be 25. Now there's 20.
Think about all like the members at that guy's club, how crazy they go when he's like starting out hot.
So
Get some
sick.
TV time.
Yeah.
Like imagine like our guy at Colonial, like Dan, just like in the PGA,
Oh my God.
just fucking
I go crazy.
birdie start. People
That
going
stuff
crazy.
is awesome.
Yeah.
That stuff is so cool. But a lot of times, none of them make the cut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Like
none of them
most
make
of the time, none of them make the cut. But I agree. Those storylines are incredibly cool. And that's what, like at the Masters, when they have way more amateurs than the other majors. And when those guys make the cut and make a charge, that's incredibly cool. At the U.S. Open, when you get people that qualified on their own, like Matt Kuchar's kid is like trying to qualify on his own and it's close, and then they make a little bit of a run. That's extremely cool. And this is the PGA Championships version of that, obviously. It's like giving back, PGA professionals, teaching, growing the game of golf, literally on the, the grassroots, being there, boots on the ground, digging it out in the dirt. Like they're the heroes of the game. So I have no issue with that either. It's just, like I said, gets to a point where it's like, some point they're just going to make decisions based on who they want to be in the tournament.
What are you laughing at?
Well, I'm not judging or stereotyping, but there's something that makes me laugh about that guy that just walked behind us. He's just like strolling around this Holiday Inn Express and Suites hotel. We're on a back patio, and he's got his camouflage shirt on. He has a dart in his hand.
Yeah.
And he looks over at us, and we're just like, we're in front of 4 cameras. We've got microphones in our hands. We're sitting around
You
this
got those
like,
fancy boxes
we've got
over
a bunch
there.
of boxes over there. What do you think that guy's? Do you think he can even like come up with like an idea of what this is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think in his mind he thinks pussies.
Hollywood.
Right.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or he's just like the TVs are here. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the TV people are here.
You got to spend more time in Iowa.
I'm
you
just
would
like,
you would see a million of those.
No,
guys.
I know, and I know that, and I'm not saying that he's in like he's probably living a better life than I am. He's just fucking happy, smoking a cigarette, walking around with his wife, the whole deal. I'm trying to think about what he's thinking that this is. He can't even piece together what it could possibly be.
He definitely would never
Like,
be
why
able
are
to get
we at the
close to
Holiday
what
Inn
this
Express
is.
right now? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What are we
we're,
doing
We're
here?
Hollywood, but we're like not.
right,
The
right.
Express.
right. We're there, but we're like not, which is
Right.
kind of perfect for
It's
us.
perfect.
Yeah, sweet spot.
That's exactly right. You
I'd
nailed
love
us.
to go talk to him. Be like, you know what this is?
Didn't some guy ask you? Was that guy asking you what
Brendan
the deal
did
was?
some guy moved a grill about.
You
20
guys moved a
minutes
grill
ago.
before.
He just goes, I'm going to grill out here. I'm like, okay.
Sure. Is he grilling us?
He
some
didn't ask
steaks?
what's going on over here or anything?
I got
No, he
13
asked if any of you guys
steaks
were
over
professionals. I said, absolutely not.
No, no, we're
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no PGA Tour player is going to be podcasting on this back
I don't think
patio.
any of them are staying at the
No.
Express. It's
not.
possible.
No,
Nice rooms though, actually.
yeah, pretty
Not
good.
bad, right?
Yeah, actually.
You were right, Riggs, about the AC. The AC pumps. That's really all I need in a hotel room. Pumped AC.
All I need.
I also feel like I've been on a
That's
string of
something
bad luck with hotels where the person above me is always just a rock band or just somebody who
Banging?
Just a rock
somebody
band.
who rented the room just so they could knock into the walls and stomp their feet.
Wrestle
I've,
around a little bit.
I've just been. It's not even like it's not the.
You hearing
it's
any
not
moans
that.
and groans?
No, it's not that. It's just loud at weird hours.
Who knows?
That sounds like,
No,
That sounds like Hank.
trust me,
Hanky.
I would be
might
telling
be
you guys if I had
Pound
had a
Town.
string of those. I just feel like I've been on a bad string of just the people above me are loud. So
Uh-huh.
hopefully I break that streak now. Maybe I'm prude and they're just up there going to town. God bless
doing
them.
hotels.
God bless them if they are.
Speaking of loud, it's golf but louder for DJ. He won on the Live Tour, right?
Yes.
$4 million.
Wow.
I think the joke around town on the course today was that he's taking a pay cut to come play in the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
Did we ever learn if, like, there was rumors when the contracts came out? Is it earned against their?
No, it's an addition for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they
which I'm
definitely-
happy. That's good for them. Man.
Yeah.
$4
No,
million
they're-
bucks for
The team competition though is for way less money, and that money now goes back to the team fund, so it doesn't exactly go to the players.
They got a slush fund.
They have these guys. They have like GMs now, and they're trying to really make these into like teams because they're starting to have sponsorships and stuff. They're starting to operate like teams. So, but yeah, it's also the team competition's like for like $1 million between 4 guys, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's more than that. But the solo competition's $4 million. So you're emphasizing the solo competition, but the team The team competition. I think it's terrible, dude. I think it's really hard. It's really hard.
It's got to be color versus color. It totally made sense with me. Like Thursday, they need to change the whole format.
Correct.
Thursday and Friday should be like all 4 guys from each team play in the same group, and it's like they're rooting each other on. They're trying to get as low as possible, and then on the weekend it switches to like Team Red now mixes in with Team Blue, and like now it's like 2-on-2, and then match play, and maybe even like just Saturdays 2-on-2 match play, and then like Sundays singles. You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm talking about. Now we got to start moving the colors. The colors made sense to me,
and that's what it was that's what it was at Doral. It was like one day was best ball team shot, the other day was singles. That's cool. That's easy to follow.
Dude, it's a little bit what we learned for our own videos at Big Cedar, where we would go on travel series, and they were great videos, but we would all play our own ball.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, this is good, but then we started doing alternate shot videos, and it's way better.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now we're invested. Now I'm rooting on Lurch, and now people are high-fiving. It's going. It could be a lot more like that. Right now, it's too focused on the singular, and just the team thing is in the background.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I completely agree.
How do you feel about the colors, Dan?
I like when they wear white and black. Cause it's easy for
That's all they wear for you, right?
Oh, right. I forget. We've come along so much that I forgot that you were colorblind.
Yeah, I make too.
Dude, I forget a lot too, and then you'll make comments assuming that I remembered, and I'll realize later that it was a funny comment.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'm like, what's wrong with that guy?
Because right now you're wearing a very colorful outfit. That hat, that Barstool Sports hat is
black
colorful.
though, isn't it?
It's just black, and your shoes they're colorful.
Yeah.
You look great.
But you could argue that if he's wearing a ridiculously colorful outfit, he doesn't know that it's colorful.
No, right. But
you guys overestimate how colorblind I am.
I think we do too.
I don't know,
see
dude.
black and white.
I've shown you why.
You're living in Pleasantville, pal.
Oh, that belt was a tough scene. Remember when you asked for a blue belt and I handed it to you? You're like, this is brown.
No, I did just ask for any belt. And you're like, I just got this blue one, and I looked at Bush and I was like,
It was not blue.
Did he give me the right one?
Right. To us, you're living in Charlie Chaplin's world.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy doesn't know what from what.
I have to give a big shout out to Jason Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny history we have with Jason Day. Might have been 2017, 18?
I was going to go older, actually.
He was asked in
It used to be like the intro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
He was asked at a press conference at I believe it was the Pebble AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. He was asked at a press conference something along the lines of like, hey, Jason, there's been a lot of talk lately about golf kind of moving forward, becoming more popular. What do you think golf could kind of do? And he, out of the clouds, was like, I think what media outlets like Barstool Sports are doing is the future. And he went on for like a minute and a half.
He might even talk about like he's got the app on his phone.
Yes.
Like it was pretty wild.
And we've never talked to him.
We had no previous relationship with him.
We've never had any relationship with him,
coins.
any communication with him.
Why do you have coins in your pocket?
I bought a Butterfinger and a water at the front, and there was a little miscommunication with the credit card and the company paying for it. And I already had the Butterfinger and the water, and she was like, "Since we're figuring out this mix-up, I actually can't charge it to the room."
She started to slowly take the Butterfinger away, and he goes, "I'm strapped."
I said, "I got cash. This Butterfinger's coming to my room." So I paid $4.50 or whatever.
Now
for
you
the
got
water.
dimes and nickels
He
falling out of your
stabbed a
pocket.
knife
Did
through
you eat
that
it already?
lady's hand.
I think it was gone. It barely got to the room.
Said, don't touch that Butterfinger.
That Butterfinger barely got to the room.
What's the Butterfinger saying?
What is the Butterfinger saying?
Come on.
Oh, wow. I'm getting old, man.
Comments.
Damn,
You're
that's
not-
going to bother me. But yeah, no,
Whoa.
Jason Day, we've had no interaction with him before that comment or since, but congrats to him, man.
I love Jason Day.
It's good to see him back on the top
I
of the
love
mountain.
Jason Day. I like
too.
Jason Day. I think one of our first podcasts, we talked about how Jason Day clearly has some darkness in him, and he's spoken a lot about that, the way he grew up,
Yeah.
all that. And we said, I like a guy.
He was like an
that's-
alcoholic at like age 12 or 13.
Was
Yeah,
it was
went
he
through
was
some
or his
stuff.
dad was?
No, he had some issues.
Okay, yeah.
He was like a golf prodigy, and there were some issues, and obviously like his mom passed away a
So
couple
yeah,
years
then in
ago.
the last few years, his mom got sick. He got injured while this was all going on. His mom passes away, who was like
Yeah.
took him everywhere, sacrificed everything to get him to golf tournaments and help throughout his career. So they're incredibly close. So he's been through all kinds of stuff, and it's been over 5 years. Comes back, wins yesterday. That stuff's all great. The best part about all that is I had him at plus 700 yesterday morning
Okay.
on the Barstool Sportsbook app. I woke up, I looked at that leaderboard. I saw 3 names that aren't the biggest household names in the world of golf. And then 2 strokes behind them was Scottie Scheffler and Jason Day, who were just 2 shots back. And Jason Day was plus 700. Put, I think, $350 on it, which I've got some cash in the old bank account because of Mr. Ice, who's been just propelling me through the playoffs in NHL hockey. So I put $350 on him to win like $2,800. So
Wow.
Jason Day coming down the stretch, as good as it gets. So
I feel like
I'm
he's
a
been
big Jason
trending.
Day guy. He has been trending.
Just been like what Kirk had him at the Waste Management.
Yeah, Kirk
That
was
felt like
going
the
around
beginning.
before we even did the gambling show that he and I do. Kirk was going around whispering to people Jason Day this week, so I put money on him top 5. Remember, a bunch of people missed putts down the stretch, so we didn't end up getting dead heat fucked, which was nice. So won with him on top 5 there, and then won a good amount with him. So I'm Jason Day. Congratulations to him. Very emotional. Dash Day, when they cut to Dash Day.
Unit.
And Dash
He's
Day
grown up.
wasn't a fucking 3-year-old kid.
No.
I was blown away. He's like a teenager.
He really has grown up. I was stunned. I saw people tweeting a little bit about it, and I hadn't seen the clip. And then I saw it, and I was like, they're right. That he's an adult now.
He was going nuts for his dad, which was so cool to
Yeah.
see. That's like Charlie and Tiger. That reminded me so much of that. That gives me a little tears when that happens. When
Definitely.
the kid wasn't just like, oh, yeah, daddy's at work and playing golf. Dash was like going nuts when he made the putt on the 72nd hole. So I thought that was really cool. So, yeah, great finish.
I looked up, I Googled Jason Day alcohol, and the answer is both. One of the headlines is Jason Day was beaten by his alcoholic dad and got his first club from the dump. And then the second one is Jason began abusing alcohol at age 12 and getting into fights in school. His mother, fearful of losing him to the streets, sold their home and borrowed money from relatives to send him to Coralbin International School, 8 hours south of Rockhampton, where they lived.
Holy
Yeah, he's just got a little edge to him.
Yeah.
And he seems like the nicest guy in the world, and I'm sure
And
that
I
he
love watching him putt.
Yep.
He watching him putt. They get those worm cams where they're right behind, and he is just as pure.
What
as
do you
he
love
is.
about
Chris
it?
Como guy, right?
Yeah, Chris Como. Yeah, he went to Chris Como, who used to coach Bryce, and basically said, like, the swing that I have right now is really fucking up my back. He couldn't play more than like a couple events. He would,
Yeah.
And now I think him and Como have worked on a swing that is way less harmful on his back. He's got his vertigo under control. He's had that too. Remember?
Yep.
He passed out on the 17th hole of the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he was like going
He
crazy.
just
That wasn't
collapsed.
Yeah, that wasn't great for the whole like golfer athlete thing. But he's been eating better. He said he's got it under control. I love how low he keeps.
We need somebody who's got some baggage, man.
Yeah,
Some
he's got
crazy
baggage.
Yeah,
guy.
people who go through things, they're easier to root for.
Totally.
He's got a
I love
softness in his
Jason.
eyes.
You know, something I've never been to that I really, 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 really want to go to at
What's
some
that?
point. We're at an event this week. We're talking about it this entire show. We're all hyped up about it. Going to events is amazing. I want to go to a NASCAR race.
NASCAR races are a time,
How many?
man.
You've been to one?
Yeah, we've been to Talladega. We've been to Daytona.
It's Talladega.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had a my car. My name was on a car.
Oh,
In
right.
Vegas.
I remember that. You guys, right? You
was
guys
crazy.
had advertising. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, Frankie car crashed. It crashed, and they had to take it off with the tow. It's one of the funniest clips of all time. After like 30 laps, it was just completely crunched, and it was on the back of a flatbed truck, just being fucking shipped off into wherever they were going to dump that thing off in a dump. But
You took one of the great pictures of Dave Portnoy at a NASCAR race, right? Is that
Yeah.
truck with the American flag?
Yeah.
That picture's insane.
It's an insane picture. We took Uber Debbie to a NASCAR event.
That's right.
Got her getting into a car. My life's been pretty crazy leading up to this whole golf thing that we've been doing. But
this
NASCAR
is
was
like the
part of
normal
it.
part for you.
Daytona and Talladega was one of the craziest weekends of my life. You go there, you stay there. It's like a bachelor party scene.
Yeah.
You got all these. It felt like the Night of the Living Dead. It was like fires going on, and it was nuts. But the actual race is so much fun. Once you're there, obviously when you're watching on TV, once you're there though, you can't keep your eyes off it.
Yeah.
The guys are going fast, and that's like all that matters. They're going fast, and you're like watching them come in, and you're like really paying attention. NASCAR is really, really fun.
Upcoming race, NASCAR All-Star Race, North Wilkesboro Speedway, May 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on Fox Sports 1. NASCAR returns to one of its original tracks. This is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. Didn't know that. Chicago Street Race, July 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, reminder, the next race, May 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1, the All-Star Race from NASCAR.
Nobody better lay a finger on my butterfinger.
I was picturing Bart Simpson because I think he used to be part of the spokes. He was like a spokesman for Butterfinger. What was it?
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Okay.
So it's mouthy.
That's the tagline for Butterfinger. Really good candy bar. Get stuck in your teeth.
Not in my top 5. But
Get stuck in your teeth, but like you save a little bit for later.
Not in my top 5. Not anywhere close.
No, we heard you.
I'm a huge Kit Kat guy.
What's your top? All right, let's hear the top 5.
Off the top of
You
the
were at,
dome.
speaking of, before we get to that, the Kit Kat, you ran the Zurich Classic out of Kit Kats. They had little jars laying
Off the
around,
top of the
and he was just
dome?
rifling through getting the
What was
the Kit Kats.
what was that fine lady's name that was behind the counter who stashed a few away and would hand me one each day when we walked in there?
I'm not going to remember. I can't remember her name.
What an
but-
angel she was. I ran them out of Kit Kats. They had a bowl, right? And it was like a Halloween bowl. It was like it had a bunch of different assortments.
Bite size.
And I picked out a handful of Kit Kats like the first day. They were just the bite size, the 2 bars. And then the next day I went in there, they're all gone. And she pulled one out from behind the thing and she goes, "We've been waiting for you. Here you go." And she gave me a little Kit Kat.
Mr. Kit Kat.
We don't have to do your top 5. What's your number 1?
Snickers.
Wow.
Wow.
He's a big peanut guy.
Snickers, Kit Kat,
My number 1
Reese's.
is I'm a Heath Bar guy.
Mm.
You guys like Nestle Crunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Bunch of Crunch.
Yeah, Bunch of
Get-
Crunch
put
is
those in
great.
the
In popcorn.
popcorn.
See, I don't like putting them in the popcorn. That's
Get too
chaos.
melty. Yeah.
Just don't fuck around with my popcorn. I love popcorn. I actually, when I'm in the mood for popcorn, I go to the movies. That's not the
Do
other
you
way
watch
around.
a movie or do you?
Yeah. But like when I want popcorn, I'm like, let's go to the
No.
movies tonight.
No, we used
He
to do that.
buys
I-
a fucking ticket and he goes.
Jeff
and
D.
gets-
Lowe used to do that.
I did. I lived
AMC's
across
now
the street.
giving.
Jeff D. Love's a
AMC's now
lunatic.
delivering
I
popcorn.
lived across the street
love
in the East Village from a movie theater, and my buddies and I would, who I lived with, if we were wanting popcorn, we would just go and grab the popcorn and
It's
go.
great
buy
I
popcorn.
did that for the Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. It was raining, New York City. Went to the place in Midtown. Went to AMC, and
AMC.
I faked a phone call. So I got the popcorn, and I go, hold on. I think my friends like outside. They can't find. I said they can't find the movie theater. So I actually got. I brought the
Can't
popcorn.
see the illuminated
I said
AMC
they
sign
can't-
out front.
I said they can't find the movie theater, so I walked outside and then I sprinted. And it was raining, and I put the umbrella over the popcorn and walked.
Did
and I
you
was
steal the
soaking wet.
popcorn?
No. I paid for it.
Oh, you just-
but I'm like holding
you didn't
on
want the
to it.
conversation, yeah.
I was like, hold on, I think.
You ever had Butterfinger BBs?
Nope.
That is like. No, go ahead.
There's something about chocolate and popcorn when you have one bite of a bunch of crunch or cookie dough bites. Cookie dough bites is number 1. When you put cookie dough bites in your mouth, you take a couple bites and then you grab a handful of popcorn. Something about that salty and sweet
Yeah.
combo. It's like your body was built for. It's like drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like some
It
people say like
unlocks something.
cocaine, like your brain like was built to like accept this, right? Like I think that was in
Did they
Succession
say
last
that?
night. Well, it was in Succession, but
Great show.
it's a great show. It's like something about your body's like, yes!
I think-
like when you do that combo, it's like, holy
I
shit,
don't
we
know.
just did something. This combo is like real.
The most stunning thing about you is that you're not a weed guy.
Yeah, no.
You talk about space all the time, and you just yelled into Alex Bush's ear about how when you eat popcorn and then chocolate,
Yeah.
it just explodes your brain. Not a weed
It
guy.
just fucking happens, man, where it's like, we've been waiting for this.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's so good.
Butterfinger BBs are good. I think.
Bunch of crunch
Okay.
and cookie dough bites.
All right.
You ever have cookie dough bites?
Yeah. Come on now.
3 Musketeers after it's been in the freezer.
I like Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers is a really
Milky
good
Way
one.
I also really like,
Milky
too.
Way's in my top 5.
Yeah, they're up.
I'm not
Those
a
two
Milky
are
Way
probably
guy.
both in my top
It's
5.
very nougaty.
Milky Way, there's nothing. It's too airy for me.
I love it.
I'm not getting enough.
I love it.
Three Musketeers is super airy. It's just like,
Yeah, those two. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not a huge fan of.
I like the airiness, I think.
yeah.
Butterfinger, Heath Bar,
And I'm a baby Ruth guy.
a lot of peanuts.
I'm just not a peanut guy.
Wait, you are or aren't?
I am.
You are. Right.
It's dry. It's a dry candy bar. You feel like you're coughing up sand.
You know what I'll throw down a bunch of is just Hershey bars with almonds.
Oh,
Hershey
baby,
bars
can
are
I
great.
fuck that
That's
up?
like a fastball.
Woo!
Not a lot of
bars.
frill, just 100 miles per hour.
Really good.
Down the
Hershey
middle.
Kiss during Christmas time.
Really good.
Also, if you're eating popcorn at home and you have those little mini Hershey bars.
Oh
just
yeah.
wrapped individually,
Yeah.
and you pop one in your mouth, and you go a whole bag of fucking popcorn.
It's like cocaine.
Oh, your body's like,
Like after-
"Woo!"
Do everything Frankie says after 6 bong rips, and you're gonna be living.
So you're saying some drugs make you feel like your brain has always needed it, like that feeling I have when I
Well, there's
have
like receptors
chocolate
in your brain.
when I have
Yeah.
chocolate and popcorn. There's a feeling that I get that unlocks something where it's like, whoa.
I mean, a couple of us can speak this. In my experience with weed, food it changes.
It's like if you told me that I couldn't eat, I don't think I would get high.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
It's like that's the main event.
It's like
you when you're in the mood for popcorn. When I'm in the mood to eat,
I get high.
You can't believe how great it is.
Yeah.
You've been eating food for 29 years, and you're like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. No, you
You got no idea. You got no clue.
dude. You actually don't. It's worth it just for that. And there's
You've never smoked weed before?
Yeah, if you like dabbled at parties, you have you take a couple of hits. Some of these pens that are walking around with these kids.
But it's when you
take a couple
become an
pen
adult,
hits, but I'm
and
not like sitting there getting high. I don't think I've ever gotten high.
Yeah, as an adult, when it's less at the party, you're just kind of at home on a Friday night. You're just like,
Don't wanna
I'm just
speak.
gonna relax.
I
And
don't
watch
think I've
a
ever
movie.
gotten high.
And you do it, and the food is a game changer.
Talk about a video that would do numbies.
Just me getting
Frankie
high.
just getting absolutely blasted. Come
The
on,
the shit you would say.
Oh come on!
You ever think about?
He wouldn't be able to get anything out. It would be 45 minutes of you guys don't understand what I'm trying to say. It can send you the paranoia is real. It's so
I might
there
come up
are
with the next Get Back album, but who knows what happens to my brain?
right. The Beatles, they went through their era.
Yeah.
It was Twist and Shout and Love Me Do, and then it was Rubber Soul.
Yeah.
That's some deep Beatles knowledge I didn't know about the different stages.
There's the
They got dark?
It's
Well, they went to India.
right. They did the India trip, and then before it was all Love Me Do,
Yeah.
and then they got into I don't know the
It was
full Beatles history.
hallucinogens, right?
Yeah,
got
they did
into?
LSD.
Fucking Sergeant Pepper.
I think they talked about
Yellow Submarine.
I am
Yeah.
Bob
Walrus.
Dylan. Bob Dylan getting them into weed, and
Yeah.
then they did LSD. And there's all these albums like Rubber Soul. What's the one I can't think of? Revolver.
Yep.
I guess Revolver's the LSD album. Rubber Soul is the weed album. I don't know if this is accurate. There's Beatles fans furious at me right now.
I mean, you could hear the difference.
But I lived with
I'm
Robbie
a big
Fox.
Beatles fan. I'll hear from her on this, but I bet
Okay.
you're probably pretty. I think you're probably pretty.
It's
dialed.
something that the music changed for sure.
Yeah.
And their beards got way longer. John Lennon looked like a homeless guy. It's great. The music is all great. And when it's just different stages of it. But
Yeah.
Frankie's weed phase, we might have to enter that at some point.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Wow. I'm just thinking about popcorn and cookie dough bites.
I'm hungry. This
you've
was
actually-
about the part of the show where I was gonna order Uber Eats to meet me here.
There's a
when we're
Buffalo Wild Wings across the street, actually.
done. I don't know if I have it in me to go over there. How across the street is it?
I think it's right
know.
across the street. Yeah, it's walking.
Wow.
Are we doing For the Cut this week?
We hit last week.
We did.
We're on
We
fire. That's
needed
why I
that.
brought it up. We're on fire
We
right
needed
now.
that.
We didn't talk much about it.
2 is a winning streak, and that's happened before.
We didn't talk much about it, but I would say that losing streak was 3 months long.
It was when we started off insanely hot, unsustainably hot.
Hit
We hit like
plus
an 800,
890s. Yeah.
and then
All
we
right.
lost about
How many
10 in a
times did you
row.
drop your glasses?
I don't know. Should I put them on the table?
Just, I mean, that maybe
It's been
7 times.
seven at
At least
least.
7 times.
Put them on the table.
After the
Any-
3rd time, you're like, I'm not going to drop these glasses again.
What
That
do
was
you
4 times ago.
What do you listen to on a road trip when you're driving 6 hours? Who's
Dan
manning
Carlin, Hardcore History.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I was
good.
really
Those are
deep.
good.
I was
Those
into
are.
Supernova in the East about the Japan-China
I
War.
haven't done that one yet.
Whew. Japanese culture is something else.
In
Yeah.
what way?
They just are very committed to things.
Discipline.
Very disciplined. There's these stories. Basically the series opens with a story about a guy who was discovered in 1975, still fighting the war.
I've
because
heard that
he was
story.
on some island and he was told that you can only stop fighting when your commander tells you to stop. So they knew that there were people out there, and they would send like newspapers and stuff saying the war's over, and he thought it was the enemy trying to play tricks on him.
Right.
So they had to listen to this. They had to go get a fucking guy, his commander, who was a teacher who had been out of the military for like
30
50
years,
years.
yeah.
And they said, "Hey, we need you." And they brought him over, and he said, "Okay, you're done." And then the guy stopped.
That's serious discipline.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like attacking people. And stuff.
Yeah. No, he like killed 8 people in a village.
Right.
Oh my God.
He was like, these are the enemy.
Yes.
And I'm not leaving this post till somebody tells me I can leave this post.
Until this guy tells me.
I
Yeah, specifically this guy.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of
It
get
was
the
like
newspaper
35
thing.
years.
The
Yeah.
newspaper thing, it's like, that's propaganda.
Oh, it's over. Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
try,
it's over.
boys.
If we all
Yeah.
believe that, then it's really over.
So
That's interesting.
yeah, I'm not a huge music guy. I like the podcast a lot.
You're not a big music guy?
Not really.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've been driving recently and picturing either a meteor or like a nuclear bomb coming down in my viewpoint, and like what that would do, like what that would feel like. To see.
What would you do?
No.
If you guys have never ever thought about that?
That's why he doesn't.
Wait, it's so specific.
Just like
Thought about a meteorite?
just like
hitting me
what
while
it
I'm
would
driving?
look like if you
What?
saw something just peek out of the sky right now, and you're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? There's all these talks about nuclear bombs now. And it's just like one of these days, it might just pop out.
Yeah, I guess
And then
under
it's just over.
my thought is that, or the way that it plays out in my head is that we would know about it and it would be like, oh my gosh, it's on
Do you think
Twitter.
we get the
things are going-
countdown?
No, I don't. Actually.
Neither do I.
More
It's on
the
Twitter.
realistic version is probably no.
You think you'd open Twitter right away? You saw a meteor coming your way?
I don't.
You're like,
Look
is this
up, be
real?
like, let me see if this is. Oh, yeah,
I
people
need-
are talking about
Rex
it.
Chapman retweeted
I
it.
need Twitter.com to confirm that the world's coming to an end. All right, I'm gonna go
For the cut, baby. Let's
For
do
the
it.
cut. I'm gonna go first. Bryson DeChambeau.
Wow.
Whoa!
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Saw him
like
out
it.
there today. Slim down,
Yeah, very slim down.
very slim.
Played nice
and-
last week.
He what?
Yeah, he played good last week.
There you go. So I'm going with Bryson, mostly because that's a name that people did not expect to hear. So I'm gonna.
I like it.
I'm gonna go with that one.
I'm going Chris Kirk.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Guys got to win this year.
Guys have a win this year. Silky tempo.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Yay.
Okay.
I saw him. I played Hudson National this past weekend. He was staying up there.
Oh, you
so I
saw him?
Yeah, hey, he was with his caddy and his manager / wife's son. He was playing golf.
Chit chat with him at all?
Yeah, definitely chit-chatted with him.
Seem in good spirits?
He seemed in great spirits.
At peace?
At peace, got here on Saturday.
Come on.
So, good pick.
I like that guy.
You know who I'm gonna go? Can't do it.
That was a I'm going to stall voice.
No, I had the guy, but he's not gonna make the cut.
Now I want to know who that guy is.
It's that tiny little fella. It's Brian Harmon, and I just don't know if I want to do it. It's just a long golf course.
I don't like Brian Harmon this week.
I don't like him either.
But it'll juice
it's
the
just-
odds. It'll juice the odds.
I know, and I keep picking him, and he
He's
keeps.
just 12,500 to 1 to win.
But
Is
I
that who you're
know.
picking?
No, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. I think we're gonna try and keep this winning streak alive, and with that, I'm gonna go with Adam Scott.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Adam Scott.
16 cuts in a row.
16 cuts in a row. You know,
Made
I
a
was
charge
looking for
yesterday.
Yeah.
great charge yesterday. I saw you tweeting a lot about him.
Yep. Thursday,
Free-
I was all over it.
So he's just been in my brain.
I
That's
tried
no
to flip
shot
the
at Brian
script
Harmon.
a little bit.
Just one of these days, I'll pick him and he'll win. He'll
Okay.
win for us.
All right. Bryson DeChambeau, Chris Kirk.
Adam Scott, not the actor.
Tommy.
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 We're not gonna.
Tommy Fleetwood.
We have our event tomorrow at Irondequoit.
Rhonda Coit.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
you
We
say
are-
the T at the end?
I think that's
no way.
disrespectful, honestly.
I mean, I've lived here 3/4 of my life, but yeah.
You
This
know,
guy-
this Bush has been
this guy's the
Mr.
mayor.
So you-
Mr.
I'm just
Do you
telling
know
you
I'm
what's
from
right.
here?
Rhonda Coit.
So does that name come from like Native Americans?
Yes.
So do you think you think they said the T?
I mean, I didn't really know
This was
them.
like the first time I went to Augusta, we stayed in a place called I thought it was called Martinez, Georgia. So someone asked me, where are you staying? And I said, Martinez. I'm from California. Very familiar. They said, no, it's Martinez. I said, no, it's definitely Martinez.
Right. Here's the thing, Alex Bush. Up here, it might be Coit, but I don't know if that's the right
Yeah, but it's up here,
pronunciation.
so kind of go with what it's called up
spicy.
here.
I'm telling you,
This
this guy
guy-
is on something this week.
This guy.
All right, Irondequoit Country Club,
Yes.
not golf club, country club. Fantastic Donald Ross track. We
Sick
drove through it
spot.
today.
Yeah.
Who was the pro that drove us through?
Ben.
Ben.
Ben Wilson.
Ben Wilson, nicest guy of all time.
So
We met
nice.
all of his people, the guys that work at Irondequoit,
Underlings.
underlings. Couldn't have been a nicer crew of guys.
And it's right there, right?
It's right there.
Oh,
I'm
I
telling
mean-
you, they literally have a
Entrance?
entrance.
Did you guys use it today?
Yeah.
They let you bring your bags and stuff?
Yeah, you can bring
Okay,
that.
so
really
nice.
cool.
But we
I'll
did
do
We brought
that.
cameras.
Somebody on the 14th hole in our tournament tomorrow will hit one into the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Is that the
It's
14th
right
hole?
there?
Yeah.
Someone
14
will,
on
if you just
ICC.
slice one a little bit right, it's not like there's a barrier or wooded.
There's no
it's
like road or anything in
it's
between?
just a tree line and you're in a
Trees.
different fairway. With
Yeah.
that fairway is
It's
on
stunning. It's
is
stunningly
Oak
close.
Hills fairway.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Right next door.
So we're excited for that. It's a 2-man scramble. Is that what we're doing
Yeah,
tomorrow?
2-man scramble.
That's going to be great. We saw the trophy. It's really cool. Taylor, our guy Taylor, absolutely.
Taylor Ray,
Did you
legend.
see this
He
trophy?
Did you see the trophy
No.
yet?
Dude, it's cool.
Really?
It's like this wooden
Come on.
trophy that's a huge tee. Like a golf tee, but the
So-
way it's really cool.
So there's a wooden base that's long and
And the tee's like
lean,
this big.
and then there's a tee that sits on top of it. It's cool, man.
It's fucking cool, man. It looks like you're being presented a sword, but it's like a golf sword. Because
Swords are sick.
Yeah. Whoever wins is going to have a really cool thing to display. So I think we nailed that.
Look, this is a crew of guys that could be dehydrated from time to time, I would say.
That's right.
Happens out
Traveling, drinking,
Being hot, sweating,
Golf.
Drinking.
waking up with
BioLite.
that cotton mouth. It's the worst feeling ever.
BioLite, baby. So, BioLite, physician formulated, the only drink out there that they've taken what you get from doing the IV. You've heard about hooking up to an IV. People go on a bachelor party, bachelorette party, they go to Vegas, whatever. They get hooked up to an IV. Quite the scene, quite the process. You don't need all that.
Expensive.
I heard it's incredibly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need all that because you get IV in a bottle with BioLite. It's that simple. It's that simple. You get 6.5 times the electrolytes that you get in an energy, or 6.5
drink.
times the electrolytes that you get in one typical sports drink.
Yep.
You get in one BioLite. They got their new flavor punch too, which is delicious.
We've been drinking those at the Classic. It's
Oh.
very good. Rave
Tastes
reviews.
delicious. You throw them in your refrigerator. They're ice cold, waiting for you in the morning. And like I've said this whole entire time, it's a way of just getting back. It's just a way. We're watching a geese just go after a nice man.
I don't know
who's
what
been
part of the
grilling
show
his
you're
sandwich.
at, but at some point during the show, geese start coming after us.
I
And
know.
right now we're watching a guy.
I
That
couldn't
goose-
keep my focus. He was really just pecking at
That
his
goose
legs. I
is
couldn't
coming
keep my
after the guy
focus.
that's grilling, but
BioLite.
But BioLite is like a fail-safe way of getting back. Like maybe you forgot to drink water. Maybe you're really dehydrated in the morning. It's just like a cheat code. It's like, whoa, I'm actually now doing something.
you just drink a full cold bottle of BioLite, your body will reap the same benefits as IV rehydration therapy in just 30 minutes or less. Works like a charm. They just launched a variety pack that features 4 of its physician-formulated flavors: citrus, tropical, berry, and melon. They've also got the new punch out there. For a limited time, get 10% off your first BioLite variety pack order at drinkbiolite.com using promo code VARIETY. Again, 10% off. Go to drinkbiolite.com. Use that promo code VARIETY. Oak Hill. We talk a little Oak Hill.
Yep.
So this place got a ton of history. This will be the 7th major championship that's been here. 8th if you include the Ryder Cup. Jason Duffner won here in 2013. Took down Jim Furyk. I remember that. He was obviously kind of at that time on Twitter when I was going wild for being the guy that was out there chewing, noticeably chewing with the beer belly. He was like
The waggle.
being with the waggle was huge. He was throwing darts with his wedges. He had the one that he hooped on the second hole where he zipped it back into the hole. He was like smacking his then wife's ass after he won when they were walking up that staircase. I remember.
Yep.
So that was kind of the course has completely changed since then.
Took out all the trees, right?
It came in 2019. They didn't just take out the trees. There's like holes that are gone. There's
really?
there's a pond that's gone. They've rerouted a bunch of it, and they've added a hole. There's a par 3 that's just new that like was just never a hole. So Adam Green is that his
Andrew
name?
Green.
Andrew Green.
Yeah, he did congressional
who
as well.
did the crazy congressional redo as well, which I believe that one is like unrecognizable in
Yep.
a lot of spots as well. From what I've heard, the women played there last year in the women's PGA.
I think that's right. Yeah, the famous 10th hole is just like that was the par 3 over water where Rory hit it to like this far. It's
Yeah.
just like not a hole anymore. They changed it.
They
Completely.
like completely changed.
This
it.
guy Andrew Green goes in.
Andrew
there with
Green's like
weed
a
whacker.
He might be on the Frankie like LSD kick. Or something.
Yeah,
It's his new
Or
era.
doing like popcorn and chocolate.
It's his revolver era.
He comes in and just as a madman, and
Yeah.
just transforms the shit out of stuff.
Guys
I
liked
think-
it from what you talked to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I believe they've been, guys have been talking about how hard it is. I'm hearing early on that it's hard, that it's more U.S. Open-esque than perhaps PGA Championship-esque. We'll see how things progress.
We saw Keegan Bradley today. He walked over to us and he said, "Look at this rough." And we looked down at it, and it's different. It's like hard. You put your hand on it,
Does
and
look
almost
like
like
rough,
pricks
Keegan
you. You
Bradley.
can almost bleed from it. It's like very thick and it's very hard, almost
The
like
ball
it's
just
about to
sinks.
branch something out of it. And the ball sinks and
Yeah.
then just grabs your club because it's got so much like integrity to it. It's not fluffy at all.
It's not wispy.
No, it's
No.
almost like string beans.
Huh.
When you feel it tomorrow, you're gonna be
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited to get out there tomorrow.
yeah.
It is. It's really cool. It's got some really picturesque holes. With I think there's a couple different creeks / like rivers that they run through that Green used very nicely. Kind of reincorporated them into a couple different holes now. So it's stunning. It's in phenomenal shape. Donald Ross in for everybody. That's New York, Boston, North Carolina. Donald Ross has his fingerprints all over all kinds of stuff. I think he did over 300 courses in the U.S.
Wow.
Donald Ross is obviously Pinehurst #2 and all of the Pinehurst area courses. Skokie Country Club, which I play up in the Chicago area every year, is a Donald Ross. So I love Donald Ross. Have been just playing, and I feel like when I actually got really into golf and kind of when you start really getting, you hear architects' names over and over. Donald Ross is like the name that I heard all the time. So the fact that they're holding a major championship this week at a Donald Ross course, incredibly cool. So
Donald Ross did the Cedar Rapids Country Club.
is that right?
Wow.
So he's all over.
He's all over the
It's
place.
also like early 1900s. They didn't have cars really, and he's like getting all over the place,
Yeah.
designing these courses. That's incredible.
That is impressive.
To travel that much.
He was like a businessman too. He had a lot of like people who worked for him. He was kind of like the Don of like he'd have other architects.
The
who were
Don
on
Old
sites.
Ross?
Yeah, the Don Ross.
Don Ross.
I just saw Justin Thomas got into a little back and forth with a guy in the media center. You saw this?
What happened?
He's like, yeah, the course is really good. Don't get me wrong, but it's like upstate New York, and it's like just snowed like 3 weeks ago here, so it's like kind of crazy. It's like the course is in pretty good shape though. And the guy goes, "It did not snow up here 3 weeks ago, and anyone that lives up here will like fight you pretty strong
Some
on
local
that."
news guy who
Was
was
it
just
Alex? Was Alex
offended.
Bush in
He
the
goes,
media center?
he goes, we had a very mild winter. It did
Western
not
New
snow
York.
here. And then JT goes, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "Yeah, it actually snowed here 4 weeks ago." And JT goes, "Oh, 4 weeks instead of 3 weeks. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome."
That was, dude. Alex Bush said he left the camera bag in there. He went into that press
You
conference.
did. You heard him.
No, but I actually
fucking
know
hear-
the guy who said that.
Who was
Really?
it?
I used to intern with him.
Was the guy being serious or
he
was he
no,
joking?
he was completely kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think JT understood.
No.
like the way
He did that with you too?
Yeah,
Is there a question in there?
Yeah. He goes, wait, was
It's also
there
like
question?
a weird time to be joking. Like, what do you like? That's not like
People who think famous people or celebrities are going to pick up on their sarcasm is always a risk.
Yeah.
If the guy who is noteworthy and notable is being sarcastic, because you see that guy all the time. If your first entry point with someone and you're just asking a question is sarcasm, that's tough. I've always thought about that on Twitter. People will be sarcastic to us sometimes. Not that we're celebrities or whatever, but I'm saying like people who are sarcastic to us on Twitter, it's like I'm like, oh no, it's the other way. And they're like, I was being sarcastic. It's like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
It's a lot to ask.
If
for you
I'm
to
being
know
sarcastic, it's because I've been sarcastic before.
Yeah.
And people kind of know it.
The guy comes up to me. He's like, "You fucking suck at golf." I'm like, "Oh shit, thanks, man." He's like, "Just kidding, dude." It's like, "Whoa, okay, yeah, maybe I
Nice
should have
one.
picked up on that."
Being
one.
sarcastic
I,
is a
don't
risk.
go to like
for
barbecues
sure.
with you and see that you like are just mean to everybody. I didn't like know that. I just don't know that about you. Maybe if I knew that like John was super mean, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's just fucking."
I've
John
definitely
being
got my
John.
feelings hurt on Twitter when it was sarcasm, and I didn't realize it because I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So that guy took a risk, and it sounds like it backfired.
It's going to be a hard golf course out there, but it's a championship. It's a major championship, and it's going to weed out the bad players, and the players that are playing the best golf are going to win. That's just what a major championship
the
venue should do.
PGA Championship has delivered. Dan Rappaport had a good tweet yesterday,
Yeah.
I believe, about or earlier today, about how it's 5 years of bangers.
Yeah.
We kind of went through it. I went through it a little bit last week in our intro, just about how pumped I was for this week because we have had some absolute bangers throughout the PGA Championship, from Brooks versus DJ, Brooks versus Tiger, with the crowds in St. Louis going absolutely crazy. The COVID year where you had Brooks, DJ, and then a million other names up there as well, to the point where Brooks was actually chirping DJ the night before, being like, well, the only guy that's up there
He's only won one.
has
That's what
only
he
won
said.
one, and Ian Brooks had like 4 at the time or whatever. And then Morikawa ends up driving the green on 16, making eagle and winning that one. And then the last 2, you had Phil Mickelson, who at 50 years old or 51
That was crazy.
won the PGA at Kiowa, a course he has no business playing in at all. And the crowds coming up and the ocean at the ocean course at Kiowa was absolutely nuts. And then last year, JT comes from 7 shots
And
back.
Mito threw up all over himself.
Mino Pereira has one of the most shocking golf swings I've ever seen a pro make, to make double and lose the tournament. And then he goes up against Zalatoris. You had Fitzpatrick there. Like, the PGA Championship, for the drama standpoint, we talk about how no stress for Jon Rahm
Yeah.
and Adam Hayes
Easy.
closing out the Masters tournament. Easy.
Cakewalk.
Brooks Koepka collapsed. We got fucking geese all over the place. And then the PGA has just delivered the drama week or
The
year
courses
in
have
and
been
year
hard too. The last I think Tulsa, the winning score last year was like 5 under. Kiowa was similar. So there was a while there where the PGA was almost kind of non-major. You'd see guys at like 16, 17 under par. But I think they're moving away from that.
I like Rochester because last year in Tulsa, it's the most I've sweat in my entire life.
Yeah.
And being out here, it's been nice.
Nice and cool.
Nice and cool. Dude, on Wednesday, it's supposed to be a high of 53.
I love that.
That's crazy.
That's great.
And then it's going to be like 80 the next 2 days. It's very bizarre.
Dude, I'm thinking about that Tiger Woods video to Scottie Scheffler right now.
Oh, I know. What did you think about that?
No divots?
What do you think about that video?
Videos I've ever seen in
Give
my
me
life.
your overall thoughts on that video.
Dude, the little...
Yeah.
dude, it's so fucking weird.
Dude, he sounds like he makes Yoda noises.
He's got like
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's the craziest fucking thing anyone's ever done.
Here's the thing, and I want to hear
divots?
everybody's thoughts on this. But the craziest moment of the whole thing is
Wait, can we play the audio real quick? Are we
Play the
allowed
whole
to do that?
thing right
So this
now.
is Tiger Woods and Scottie Scheffler during TaylorMade Media Day a couple months ago at this point, talking about if Tiger takes divots and why Scottie doesn't take divots.
Hey, what's up with the no divots?
What?
No divots.
Why do you take a divot?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Just picking it.
Do you do that always when you warm up, or?
If I'm swinging well, I don't take divots.
Have you always been like that, or did you just practice it? Have you always been like that, or did you just practice it?
No, when I'm flushing it, I don't take divots. Just it is
how you
what
are.
it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
So you just heard the audio. Scottie goes, "No divots," and Tiger goes, "Yeah." And Tiger goes, Scottie goes, "What's that all about?" And Tiger goes, "Craziest question maybe in the history of golf. Why do you take divots?" It's like, and Scottie's like, "I'm asking you. I don't know what's going on right now." Scottie's just
Like, you practice that, or
he's
is that
just
always...
in the sauce now. And Tiger's
He's
like, "No."
staring through Tiger Woods trying to be like, what do I even say to that?
Because
Clearly you take divots.
what are your overall thoughts on that? Because I don't. The whole clip is
Yeah,
incredible.
he definitely does pick it, like probably more than anyone of the elite players. JT is very similar, but he still takes divots.
For sure.
Like,
And just the way he's saying it, just the way he does it. He's like, when I'm hitting it good, I don't take divots.
when I'm flushing it, I don't
When
take
I'm
divots.
flushing it, I don't take divots.
And
Dude, the is
It's almost like a sensual, his voice. He's like,
dude. And for a guy who just has no comedic timing, Tiger,
Yeah.
he's been doing it his whole career. He'll come to a press conference with a prepared joke that never lands, but he'll smile for 10 seconds until everybody gets it. The second it is what it is to Scottie Scheffler is maybe the funniest thing he's ever
It's what
done.
it is.
He goes, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dude, I watched that clip. I'm not kidding. 75 times.
And then
I'm
I
in
watched
love
the
with
7.
it.
I watched the 7,000.
I'm in
I
love
sat
with
in
it.
bed and I stared at Scotty. There's a point where his face, he wants to smirk.
Yeah.
Where he wants to be like, "Are you like why am I in this moment right now?"
If it's anybody else, he goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
just like, but he's just trying to wrap his head around that Tiger verse. Like what? And then he has to try and answer to Tiger Woods why he takes divots. Scotty's like, I don't know. Is that something you've always? He didn't even answer the question.
No.
Scotty didn't even answer it.
There's another one from a couple years ago that Bush, you should put the audio in too. He's talking to Jason Day. Have you seen this one?
Oh,
Is that
your
the-
hands?
Yeah, and Jason Day,
Slow down my
Jason
hands.
goes, "How do you control distance with your wedges?" And Tiger goes, "I just do it with my hands." And Jason Day goes, "Can you just like say that like a normal person?"
Yeah.
Like what does that mean? He's like, "Oh, I just speed up my hands or slow them down."
Do you feel it in your arms? You feel it?
Yeah, how do you regulate
how do you-
distance?
Yeah, how do you regulate?
I just slow it down, and I feel it all in my hands. So I slow my speed of my hands down.
And can you explain things like just like a normal person? Oh my gosh!
Then a new clip came out right after that of Tiger and Colin Morikawa talking about Charlie. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
you were
Tees.
explaining this one to me.
Talking about
Yeah.
the different tees that they're playing.
Charlie's like hitting the ball far away, and Tiger's like, "Yep, trying to he outdrove me the other day. I had a high spinny one. He had a low missile or something like that.
Tomahawk.
A low tomahawk. He had a low tomahawk. Wants to beat me one day. Said he wants to beat me before he's 14. Good luck.
How does Colin
Said he
react?
wants to beat me before he turns
Colin's
13.
like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
And Colin's still trying to get information. He goes, so he plays the same tees, and Tiger wouldn't confirm. Tiger's like, he doesn't play the Tiger tees, but he plays the back ones at Medalist. Plays the back ones. So Colin's like the back, like the same tees. He doesn't play the Tiger tees. It just wouldn't get. You can't get an answer. And then he goes, wants to beat me before his 14th birthday. Good luck. Huh? Yeah.
What?
It's just.
Yeah, he is Kermit the
He
Frog.
turns into Kermit or like Brandon Walker. No, what the fuck?
That's a really good Brandon Walker.
Yeah. Now what the fuck is this?
That's making Brandon be a little bit more Kermit.
Yeah,
but
got
it's
it in the back of the throat though.
Yeah. No, Tiger, man, he's somewhat incapable of having a normal interaction.
Well, he hasn't had one in 25, 30 years.
Right. So it's just those clips I love them. That Scottie clip, I'll tell you what, it's my video of the year because it's so bizarre and so funny.
Right, let's clip it.
Oh,
it's really good. It's really, really good. Why do you take divots? It's like, what the fuck?
I'm asking you.
At the time, talking to the number one player in the world. Why do you take divots? And Scotty's like,
just such an easier conversation than it was. It should have been such an easier conversation.
Tiger's the greatest.
Oh,
he's the greatest, even when he's not trying to be.
It's got to be on TW doing things, right? It wasn't,
dude. It's on TaylorMade. Yeah,
I know, but.
Yeah, they've got gold with those videos. Just mic those guys up and let them talk to each other.
Mic them up and just let them go.
What? No divots. Why do you take divots? I don't know. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Just pick it. Do you do that always when you warm up, or?
Hmm?
I'm swinging while I don't take divots. Have you always been like that, or did you just practice it?
I can't get over it. I can't get over that noise.
It's good, man.
So soft.
I tell you what, we talked about this at the course today. Every golf tournament, but it just happens to be PGA Championship this week, misses Tiger. Yeah. You just know.
I fucking love that.
You just know.
Man.
I mean, last year Tulsa was like, how's he going to play? How's he going to walk those hills? What's it going to be like? Is he going to make the cut? And this year it's just, you got nothing. You got nothing. Rahm's great. Scottie's great. Rory's great. There's just nothing like having him around.
Dude, he's just like a handful of years younger than Phil. He could just be healthy and
oh, I know.
But could he be?
Yeah, he could be.
Certainly
walking
healthier.
around 2019, man. He was a machine.
It's jarring watching the videos now how good he looks.
And we were scared about him at that time too, at the back and all that.
Best player at the President's Cup.
It's a real good.
These geese are getting bold.
Yeah, we need to eat. We got to get out of here and go eat. We're about to get eaten by these things if we don't.
Fuck, dude, that's so funny.
That thing came at you. You would have. What would you do?
Cry.
That thing came at you just to kill.
How many do you think? How many would there need to be for you to die?
One.
No, like if 1,000 geese come at you.
Oh
you
yeah,
dead?
dude, not even close.
Dude, there's this great.
I think five.
I think a couple. Yeah,
a couple
1,000
Dude, if those things are ferociously trying to kill you,
or you have a golf club.
A dummy. A bunch of them.
Dude, there's this great. I don't know what it is, but I got caught in.
Club. I got a 4-iron. You could last a long time.
1,000
Dude,
geese.
just fucking what?
You get so tired though.
Dude, you'd be exhausted.
I'm thinking about this motion. Maybe just 100.
I still think 10 of them came at me, I'd die.
I'm stuck in this.
Neck.
Yeah, they just
they would neck you to death.
They neck you. You start bleeding a little, and then you're a little weak, and then it's over.
I'm stuck in this TikTok rabbit hole right now where they do simulations where they'll take like 1,000 geese and 1,000
like AI generator or something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they do it. And they'll do like 1,000 lions and they'll put them together and you see what happens. It's pretty fun. The funny ones are when they do one Chuck Norris against like 10 million gladiators or whatever, and it's Chuck Norris wins every single time. But that's what that reminded me of. Yeah, I bet 30 geese would kill me.
I think 5 would do it. I think I'd be out for 5.
I don't know how
they'd be coming from every which direction. You know what I mean? They
also
quick.
could just fly into your neck.
Yeah, I think you guys are overestimating them getting to your neck, though. You think they can get you down on the ground, or would you just be kicking them? They might be pecking at your feet and your knees.
I think
that thing
like
would bite, like peck and bite
you don't think you're
aggressively
gonna,
your neck.
Kick it and just like step on
but
it?
But it can
and then
just
you're
fly. They
can
can fly.
True. They can fly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to think about it, actually.
2 of them fly your neck, and the other ones are picking at your shins, and you're like, and now one of them gets you penetrates your neck good. Now you're bleeding everywhere. Oh. Gentlemen, we want it all.
Yeah.
We want to play it by ear and have definite plans. That's true.
Yep.
We want to overshare life stories and remain mysterious.
Such a good point.
I think that's true, yeah.
Whoever wrote this is a real wordsman.
We want to be hip and wear the same sweatshirt every day.
Yeah.
But sadly, we can't have it all. Unless we're at Sport Clips Haircuts.
And you can get it all. You got it all.
That felt like
I didn't know
where we
that
can
felt like a movie.
tune into the game and tune-out work pings, where we can put our hair in the hands of pros and put our brains on Do Not Disturb.
I feel like you're reading slam poetry.
At Sport
Person needs a
Clips,
raise.
Yeah.
we can get an unbeatable haircut and some uninterrupted downtime with the MVP experience, complete with massaging shampoos and hot steam towels.
Sport Clips
I
is
love
legit.
getting my hair cut.
Oh, it's a great
I
feeling.
like when they the way that it feels when they
Body
line
leather
you
on
up.
the side.
I would get that every
My
day
friend
even
Alex
when I don't need a
Chi
line
used
up.
to fall asleep when people would cut his hair there.
Dude,
Yep, when they would love that laser, run
Little
that
laser.
razor on the back right here,
Yeah.
he would just fall asleep.
dude, I get it. I totally get it. It feels so good.
That's more of a haircut for sure.
Oh,
It's
and
so
they know
good.
it too.
yeah. No, they know that they're doing a real service to people. Sport Clips.
In other words, we got to have it all.
Yeah.
We get to have it all. Walk in and check in online. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. Get that MVP experience. You're going to get complete MVP experience with massaging shampoos, hot steam towels. You might fall asleep. That's how good it is. Go check out Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Are we taking early winners? Are we calling out winners on this Monday afternoon?
Sure. Patrick Cantlay.
Holy shit.
Joey on the back.
Joey's first major with Patrick Cantlay.
Patrick Cantlay has been pretty poor in majors for his career, but I feel like he's got too solid of a game, and I feel like he's going to win a PGA Championship for his first one. La Cava on the bag.
Wow.
I like Patrick Cantlay this week.
Talk about solidifying Joey's legacy if he just moves on to
He's
a
all over
second
the
one.
place.
See, he had Nelly's bag.
Nelly's
last week?
back.
Yeah, that was really
that guy
cool.
wants to work.
Fucking
Yeah.
snooze
Bad.
fest that would be. If Patrick Cantlay
Yeah.
won this team.
It'd be good for Joey, though.
Yeah, I want
I
Joey
love
to win
Joey.
a major.
Joey would be great.
You're rooting against Patrick Cantlay.
I'd prefer someone else to win. Just
I know, but we're in
from
a tough spot now because it's Joey, and we
entertainment.
fucking love Joey.
Have you talked to him about the Cantlay situation at all?
I texted him, and he said, looking forward, great kid, looking forward to being on with him permanent, like for a long time.
permanently
aside
for
from
a
that.
long time.
Well, I don't know if he rather.
He does want to work.
I don't know if he said
He
permanent.
does.
He's taking jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool. He
I
was,
respect it.
dude, when we ran into him at the Zurich, he was on Stricker's bag.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, hit me up. I want to come down here and do it. And he wants to work. Yeah, which is
Who do you got?
Jon Rahm.
Oh,
Because I'm, as a headlines guy, I would love to see somebody make a real charge at the Grand Slam. Like a real one. I mean, Spieth did it a couple times.
Winning the first two is that'll be the conversation going
that
into
would have
LA.
been, that should be so fun to have that be in the conversation. And it's like a pretty solid bet because he's Jon Rahm. And he's unreal.
Here's the reason I'm going to take Jon Rahm. Obviously, the first part of the show, people heard all that. Very high on him.
We like people that like us.
We like people like us. And that's a fact.
That's been true forever.
For 7 years, we've been doing it that way. I also, like you just, your last point of Jon Rahm is just rock solid. And if you take him, he's plus 750, I just saw in the Barstool Sports book. There's a really good chance that you're at least alive on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like a good chance.
And at plus 750, that's fun to have that be alive going into the final round, most likely, or a pretty damn good chance. Whereas anybody else, really, you could be out of it. And
Yeah.
You're most likely going to be out of it, even if it's not going to hit. Even if the plus 750 Jon Rahm's not going to hit. Waking up Sunday for that final round, even if he's 5 shots back. JT won from 7 back last year. Rahm's got a shot and most likely going to have a shot. So I'm going Rahm. I know people are going to be like, way to go out on a limb. I don't really give a fuck. I'm taking Jon Rahm plus 750 to win.
I'll go out on a limb. Or not on a limb. I'm going Justin Thomas.
Oh.
He's a PGA champion.
Yeah,
He
he
knows
is.
how to win these tournaments.
Yeah.
And
Two time.
He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder from that interview talking about Rochester.
He hates Rochester now.
From that Alex Bush interview.
I don't know, man. That guy just shows up in the big moments. Maybe obviously doesn't win every single one of them, but he's always in the. I want a guy that's always gonna be in the mix. I would have picked Jon Rahm if you guys didn't both pick him, but you want a guy that's always gonna be up there, and that's the odds always indicate that he's gonna be up there. I just think Justin Thomas is gonna become the PGA Championship guy that's just gonna win a bunch of them.
You definitely. I want to be clear when I say this. You definitely want 3 PGA championships, right? But do you want 3 PGA championships? You want them.
I know what you're saying.
You definitely want them.
It'll be like
Definitely-
asterisks.
you
You're
definitely-
like,
No,
You're
no,
sitting there how did I
Definitely
not win
don't-
a Masters through one of
Not
them?
want them.
You definitely don't want. You don't not want them. But I'm just trying to say.
I think he wants another one badly.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if you're Justin Thomas and you're 30 years old or however old he is, like, you're not so mad if you have 3 already in your pocket and you've got the next 15 years to just like add another one to the trophy case. Like, you're already like, all right, I'm gonna get a US Open, I'm gonna get a Masters, or I'm gonna get an Open Championship. I'm happy I have 3 PGAs in the pocket.
I think that's right.
It's not like his career's over.
I'm on the side of wanting 3 PGA Championships. It's just something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be a narrative.
At such a young part of his career, I think it's fucking awesome for 3. I think you'd sign up.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Like Spieth's 3 are pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Zach
you're going to choose
Johnson.
one to not have.
Zach
Johnson's 2.
Zach Johnson has the best.
Would
2.
you rather have 3 PGAs or a PGA and a Masters?
Oh,
I think I'd rather have a PGA and a Masters. You get to go back every single year.
Yeah, the Masters is the kicker.
So you get one. Yeah, so you go to 2 majors instead of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather have 3 PGAs than 1 Masters for sure.
Yeah,
I'd rather have
I
a
agree with
Masters
that.
than a
Yes.
PGA.
When you win a PGA, do you play for the rest?
No, I think it's only like 55 or 60 or something. But also the Masters, like the Champions Dinner.
Yeah.
It's
Augusta.
How many?
Yeah.
How many? Wait, you said 3. I'm trying to think. How many PGAs would you take?
I would take 2 Masters over 4 PGAs.
No.
4 is a big.
4 is
number.
a big number.
No, I wouldn't.
You take 4 PGAs?
Yeah. But I'm trying to think,
God,
what if-
if you win 4 PGAs?
What if we did this the other way? Would you rather win 3 Masters or 1 Masters and 1 PGA?
3 Masters.
3 Masters.
Got more majors.
Yeah, so it's
And
funny
you're-
that we would do it.
And you're like
Right.
a Philly.
We would do
you're
it
like
one
Philly.
way
You're
and
like
not
a
the
master
other.
specialist. You're an Augusta specialist. That's sick.
Yeah, 3 Masters.
Yeah.
Like Bubba. Bubba's got
2 Masters
Yeah,
or 1
no.
Masters and 1 PGA.
Say it again.
2 Masters or 1 Masters, 1 PGA.
2
2
Masters.
Masters.
1 Masters, 1 PGA for me.
Really?
You want a
Yeah.
little diversity in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's close. It's close.
Yep. I would rather have both. You can win 2 different majors, and I get to do the
Yeah.
Masters stuff. I would rather have both.
What if the Masters are back to back?
No, I would rather have the PGA.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Then back-to-back Masters.
Yeah.
Just diversifies like where you could win. Yeah.
Diversify your portfolio.
Plus, you're a PGA champion forever. You get to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's shit you get to go to. They do
Definitely.
little dinners and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know that's the same thing, but
Yeah.
That's that math. All that math is interesting. All of that.
yeah, that's funny to think about.
We
All
got to
right.
eat, fellas.
Okay.
I'm ordering a Chipotle burrito right now.
Wow.
PGA Championship week. Excited.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
If you see us out there, say what up.
What's up?
Yeah, we got our event tomorrow. And then we'll be out there Wednesday.
Yep. That's right.
When are you guys going home? Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, we always go home so we can actually watch the damn thing.
Yeah,
we'll be home for Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be home to watch Thursday.
There's a Barstool
I'm
Classic.
going home Wednesday night. I got Barstool Classic in my hometown,
Oh, nice.
Bogey Hills
Bogey
Country
Hills.
Club on Thursday,
St. Louis.
which is literally across the highway from where my childhood home.
Wow.
Fratelli's Italian and Fratelli's Pizza, which
I've had
is
it.
right next to Bogey Hills. My favorite pizza I've ever had in my life.
It's good.
So it's right there, family Italian joint. So I'm going to go there this weekend. So it's going to be great. Going in Wednesday night, tournament Thursday at Bogey Hills Barstool Classic, and then Friday, Saturday, going to play golf in the morning
Nice.
with my brother and my buddies, and we'll go back and watch golf all afternoon. So it's
Beautiful.
going to be a phenomenal weekend.
Hell yeah.
We're actually playing golf Saturday morning in Illinois so that we can use the Barstool Sports book. We booked a tee time because it's across the river. It's
How
like
far
a
is that?
35-minute
Yeah.
drive, 40-minute drive.
Oh wow!
So we're going to go across the river and put our bets in and play, and then drive back and watch all afternoon. So
Think we get any Tiger Woods like tweet this week?
Just
a
congratulations.
congratulations.
Yep.
No like pre-tournament. Best of luck.
Wish I could be there.
Yeah.
No.
it'd be great if he just tweeted out a picture of each of his PGA Championship
Yeah.
wins.
Or if he tweeted out him standing on the first tee.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. You have a chance to win because I'm not there.
Huh?
All right.
All right.
We'll be back on Thursday, and then we're also doing recap pods each day.
That's right.
So Thursday, Friday, or no. Yeah, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday, we'll do recap pods.
And then I'm sure we record on Sunday too for Monday episode.
Yeah, Sunday full
We'll put it
full
out for
pod.
Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we'll be live on YouTube, right? So we'll be live. We'll also put it as a podcast. We did that last time. We had a bunch of people joining the live. So once golf wraps up within that hour or whatever, we'll be live on the YouTube page talking about for 20 minutes what we saw that day. any funny things that came up or any interesting topics, and then so you guys can all watch it on YouTube.
Side gig. Awesome.
Hell
Thank
of a
you.
job.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it on the last
Awesome.
podcast, but you're here in person. We don't do many in
Yeah,
person.
we
ones.
sucked your cock
Shit's
off
awesome.
a little bit.
I heard it.
People love it.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
heard it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
Really
it was really
good.
nice to you guys, and I
course.
appreciate what you said. And we're
just
hard
a
at work
really good
on
series.
number 2 and number 3. So we're
Awesome.
moving.
I've had a lot of
It's just
people
ve-
come
it's
up and
also
be like,
very-
that side gig series is great.
It's also very rewatchable, which is
Yeah.
good. Like I've gone back and watched.
I wanted
clips
to
of
make
it
this
of-
series, and Golf Digest told me no a bunch of times. So
Really?
I mean, it never really got to the point of like, but it was always like, we sell it. And
Still open spots, by the way, in every event. If you want to go,
I'm out.
GGO.
You know what I
Side
mean
gig's
about
great.
it? You know what I mean about it being like it's repeatable, and you know how hard that is to find a series that's repeatable. You can do 1,000 side
Well,
gigs
also,
if you
I think
want
it was it Garrett? We were talking about what we were going to name it. We were like, I think I'll walks you through blah, blah, blah. He's like, why don't you just name it I caddied for blank? Because then you can just run those.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do.
Frankie's right. Repeatable in our
It's so
line of
hard.
work in our
Yeah.
business is the hardest thing to find.
Yeah.
It's by far the hardest thing to find. So when you find something like that and it's a great format and people love it, just rip them.
We're going to hammer them.
Yep.
It's
So
fun.
sick.
All right.
Can't wait.
PGA Championship week. Have fun out there. Everybody have fun watching the tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll be back Thursday, but
Hit it hard.
hit it hard.
Hard.